You got to start the recording.
Yeah, and then you have the introduction.
Jesus Christ.
How many times have we done this?
How many times do I have to tell you this?
I don't know. It's season 2.
Ready?
Season 2, episode 1. I am ready.
Okay.
You got a button.
I got a button now.
Your button.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Untitled Car Project. All you car project enthusiasts out there, thanks for joining in. Show 38, Season 2,
Woo!
Episode 1, 2025. We made it.
Yay.
Sort of.
2025.
kind of made it. I'm Rob Spring.
Jeremy Molt.
I'm Grant Gonzalez.
Thanks for being here. Ian, out sick. We were supposed to have a full group today, but dang it.
'Tis the season.
'Tis the season for hacking up a lung.
He's coughing harder than Grant right now.
Yeah, it's gnarly. That
Oof.
whole thing. So, anyway, I wanted to run down a few things as we ramble on for our first show of season 2. So this year, we had 32 different countries tuned into our show.
Wow.
32 countries.
That's more people than I thought we had.
Yeah, 32. No doubt. Some days it feels like it.
Right?
Yeah.
For all you people out there, not only in the U.S., but all the other countries listening, thank you very much. A few notables. Germany, 6 different territories in Germany, 3 different territories in Sweden, England, Scotland, Australia for 3 different territories, and Canada, 5 different territories. And then a whole host of other countries as well. It's awesome.
Dude, we got almost all of Mexico and Central America. That is crazy.
Yep.
And then for our United States listener, did we actually hit every single state too?
We did not.
Really?
No.
We got more countries than states.
No, well, we got 48 states. We
Really?
missed it by 2.
Ah.
What states do we need to hit?
Vermont and North Dakota.
There's nobody that lives in North
Well,
Dakota.
you know, figured they're just not car people out there, I guess.
I guess.
And Vermont.
Apparently, we need to talk about some trucks.
Yeah.
Our biggest listening state is California.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, California, Washington, Oregon, New York.
Yeah, we did.
Really?
We did start out pretty strong on the East Coast for some reason.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good following on the East Coast. Thanks, guys, for that. Texas is pretty big.
Nice.
Yeah.
Texas is always big.
Texas is big. They always do things big.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. That's why I can't live there.
Dude, the women are beautiful in Texas.
There's truth to that.
Yeah.
I'm also beautiful there without my shirt on.
Are you?
No, you're not. You would get sunburned
Speaking of-
there. It'd be
speaking of
10
Texas.
minutes in.
Well, in summertime for sure.
Right?
I wanted to go to C10 Nationals this year in Texas.
Oh yeah, that is in Texas.
It is. Well, there's one in Vegas as well, so I'll probably end up going to that because the C10 Nationals runs up against one of our events in May.
Okay.
So it's conflicting, and since I run the event, I cannot miss it.
Okay. But that also means by going
Kind
to
of bummed.
Yeah.
It also means by going to Texas, you can see the Chad.
The Chad. Well, I know
Yeah.
that Chad was going to be there, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll go to that. That'd be cool. Well, now I can't go. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the upcoming events for this year, what we want to do, I'm starting to put stuff on my calendar. I mean, it's January. Should probably do that. Make plans for stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm finding out what is conflicting and I can't do.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important for like every car guy. At the beginning of the year, it's good to have a list of that because you can dial down or dial up your projects and see what kind of goals and timelines you got to set for. You know, whether it's racing or building or whatever, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to have that calendar for lack of, whether it's a timeline you're setting or calendar or however you're making those goals. It's just like our good friend Jimmy tearing apart his Corvette.
Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
They were going to wait till the last minute. to
Jimmy
tear
and
that-
Dad.
Yeah. Derek and Don calling you guys out. They were going to wait till the last minute to tear that out, and then they discovered they needed a whole new torque tube. It's a good thing they didn't wait.
Yeah. Oh, he pulled that apart and it looked like soup.
Oh my gosh, it was bad.
Chunky soup.
I'm honestly surprised it made it through the last event.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have run it making that noise, but they were like, no fucks given. Go for it.
Yeah. Zero mechanical fucks given.
Yeah, pretty much. Run it. It's making all kinds of racket. Nah, it's okay. Keep going. Till it doesn't move anymore. Just keep going.
That's when you throw the sawdust in.
I think that's just Don's attitude. He's like, fuck it. Just run it. I don't care.
It's broken.
It's already broken.
It can't get more broken.
It could have got more broken.
No, it could
have broke stuff along with it. Yeah. But, good for them.
So along those same lines, I got a buddy that texted me the other night, and he's panicking because he wants to do autocross this year with us.
Okay.
And he's got a 69 Camaro,
Okay.
and he's like, just put an EFI on it. It's got a 502 big block in it, but it's aluminum.
No kidding.
I'm going to try to get him on the 22nd when you're out.
Okay.
And try to give him some guidance. But
Some guidance? What
guidance.
guidance are you going to give him?
well,
I want to hear this.
he's panicked, right? And
What about driving autocross?
No, he used to own a Corvette.
Yeah.
He's got the Camaro now, and he's been working on setting it up for autocross for years, and just put the EFI system on it.
It's that friend.
But it's struggling. Yeah,
Be
Brandon.
fine. We need to hook him up with John.
But
Yes.
we've talked about
Get
them
it tuned.
that too. But we've
Yeah.
talked about in the past. That was the same friend that you said, don't keep modifying, just go race it. See
Yes.
where the
Yeah.
benchmark's at.
That's exactly what I told him.
That's fair. Yeah, I get that.
He's going to need new tires and wheels for it too.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's a big investment.
Yeah.
I mean, any kind of, if you're trying to set up for any kind of event, specific,
Yeah.
it's a big investment. If it differs from what you already have, I guess.
Yeah. He's got really nice street tires on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would autocross with him.
Sure.
Really? Why not?
know
You
what
mean
they
the
are?
rims are nice, or do you mean the
No, I mean
Oh my God, wheels are
tires?
the wheels and
wheels are rims.
the wheel setup with the tires on it. I think he probably needs a better tire,
Okay.
and I don't know if I'd run the street wheels.
Okay, but why?
Potential damage or
Yeah, damn it, they're nice,
Okay.
and I think I would keep them nice. For
Is
the
you
street.
running oversized, like blingy street stuff, or is it?
No, they look like Kragers.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but are they 18s?
No,
Original 15 sizes.
Rubber
Like-
bands are on the wheel.
They're
Right.
not. That's a good question. I think they are rubber bands.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's running
They're-
oversized wheels with
Yeah.
low pros.
But I think he's also got oversized brakes, and it's got a Corvette front end under it. So
Corvette front end will fit under a 69, or was that full custom?
I think it was pretty custom.
Huh.
We'll get him on and talk.
I think
to
it
him.
would have to be. Yeah.
I'm
No,
looking
that
forward to
sounds
that.
good. That sounds good. A lot to dig into there, I guess. So this last week, did you guys see AutoZone's closing?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
So I know the.
Are you not following the text chat
No,
at
no.
all?
Hang on.
Seriously?
No, the other one's closing. The one I told you guys about, which was Advanced Autoparts is closing.
Oh, did I say the wrong one? I may
Okay,
have.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I
That
My
one.
bad. Sorry, AutoZone.
That's the one.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
That's the one.
Advanced
Auto-
Auto-
Oh, it's that one.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
completely different stories. I saw that was closed. I meant to text in the chat because it was there, and then Jeremy posted that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, guess I
Yeah.
need to text about that.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, auto parts store closing,
That was shocking.
and
90% off of everything.
oh yeah, I mean they probably don't have shit left, but
I don't know,
They
man.
did.
anyway, there's one out in the town that I live in. I did
Mm-hmm.
not stop by. It's like, but that's not my thing either. Just to go scrounge through
Stand
shit.
in line.
Nah, they didn't really have any lines.
Really?
Yeah. Not,
Oh, dude.
So,
I've been hearing people standing in line for 45 minutes
What?
to 3 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely not my thing.
I went there the week before Christmas, or week of Christmas, so like 23rd, 22nd. And the only reason I did was because I was fixing a friend's car and had to go to 5 different auto stores. We'll get to that in a minute. But when I went in there, they still had probably, I'd say, like 60% of their stuff. But it said 90, 80% off stuff. But when you got inside, a lot of things said 30% off. Like they had a variety of how.
It probably said
Yeah.
up to 90%
Yeah.
or something.
But it was still impressive to be like, you can get a cold air intake here for 30% off and all these oil filters.
Yeah. There's probably some random goodies that you could pick up that you could use, But I would say a lot of the random stuff, whether it's oil or shop towels or whatever,
Yeah, that stuff's probably gone.
I would think so. I would think that would go first.
Yeah.
Something everybody can
Tools?
use, no matter what your car
You
is.
still have tools?
I don't know.
Oh,
It might be a good place for a younger kid to go set up his toolbox.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's
possibly.
only a temporary thing because it's going out of
is.
business.
Yeah, I mean, it's like by the time this episode comes out, their doors are probably closed.
Yeah.
So
I think I heard they were going to be open till April.
So
how in the world are
I
they
have
going to be open that long?
no idea.
Emptying the warehouses.
They must be.
I don't know if they are.
Liquidation.
Yeah.
So I was told,
Look it up. Who's got the Google machine?
and someone other than me, because I got my hands busy real fast.
Yeah.
I was told they were bought by CarQuest,
Oh.
and I'm wondering if they're going to then put their whatever stock they have into that, and then it's going to come
Well,
back.
see, yeah, if that's the truth, and here we are speaking out of our ass, 'cause we
Grab 'em
don't know the facts,
Sounds like
but we do that a lot. If CarQuest bought them, they would not have a liquidation, in my opinion. They would just change names, rebrand, and keep on selling. There's no reason to sell off that inventory at a discount.
This one says on CarQuest Wikipedia, it says CarQuest is a corporation in America, the automotive parts distributor network that was sold and currently owned and operated by Vance Auto Parts. Oh, so I guess it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's the other way around. So
Yeah,
they're both
wow.
going out of business.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Because I thought CarQuest was doing pretty good. That's interesting. So that brings up the whole reason I wanted to bring it up. Like, what causes a corporation of that size in auto parts, which automotive industry is pretty healthy, a 10 zillion cars out there. What causes a corporation like that to go out of business? Are we looking at too much online spending? People are ordering their shit specialty online. Are we oversaturated for auto parts stores? What? And this is purely speculation because
Yeah.
I don't know shit about it.
Do you mind if I put my 2 cents on that?
I was hoping you would.
Okay. I think it's a variety of things, personally. And I think it comes down to the first thing is no matter if you go into an auto parts store or big parts store, I would argue and say 90% of those parts we found at the next store and found at the next store and sort of the next
Absolutely. I would 100% agree.
And then on top of that, all that can be found online.
So you're saying, which was one of my speculative reasonings, right?
Yeah.
Too many auto parts stores.
I feel like the ability to grab something go, especially as a car guy, when you need it, is good to have.
Agreed.
I think too many locations together could be a saturation.
Yes.
But I think it also comes down to, because of the economy is going over the last several years, the dollar amount. Because why would you go to, say, a Napa and pay $20 when you go to O'Reilly's and get it for $13, and go to
100%.
Amazon and get it for
Right.
$10?
Agreed.
so. That is the good thing about just up the road here.
It's right there.
I had an AutoZone, Advanced Auto,
Yep.
Napa, O'Reilly's. All of those were right there.
I have all of those in my little town as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a small town that I live in, and there's 5 auto parts stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's perfect because for the consumer,
Yep.
me,
Yep.
that 5 auto parts store right there in a small area, they're going to compete for the sales.
For sure. Pricing.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Overhead's still high for each of those places. But with 5 in a small town, you're not selling to too many people.
Right.
No.
Right. There's a lot fewer do-it-yourselfers anymore as well. So that kind of brings it down.
Yep.
So I just kind of wonder about those kind of things. Like,
So I got a question for you.
bring it.
Do you have the big apps? Napa, AutoZone, O'Reilly's.
Yes.
Do you go on and look at all 3 of them when you look for the same part?
Yes. Of course I do.
And then you go to
'Cause
the
I-
cheapest one.
No, well, if multiples have the part, then yes, I would do that. I look for the one that's going to have the part,
Right.
and probably 85% of the time they don't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Really?
Yes.
For your Ford or for the Corvette?
Corvettes.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and then it comes down to the other thing is if you go to the store and they don't have it, they're like, "Oh, would you like just to have us order it to the store?"
No, so here's what I do
Yeah.
with the apps, and this goes for my Ford too, because surprisingly, they don't carry the oil filter. Nobody freaking has it. I have to order it every freaking time. It's the dumbest thing. I'm like, look at your market. I live out in the freaking woods. Everybody's got an F-250 or F-350.
Yeah.
There's a Ford dealership across the damn street. and they don't carry an F350 oil filter.
The dealership doesn't?
No, the O'Reilly's.
Oh, O'Reilly.
Or Napa, or any of them.
Right.
Right? Drives me crazy. Beside the point. I will go on the app. I will look at their inventory. If they have it, cool. I'll stop by. I'll get it. If they don't, it's usually either O'Reilly or Napa can get it same day or next day. I will just order it on the app, then I'll stop in and pick it up the next day.
Yeah. But sometimes, like, I've had it where I've gone for more very niche things. For example, I'm working on semi-trucks.
Sure, yeah.
And I need a rotor for a semi-truck of a certain size. Sometimes I can't get it, and it's cross-country.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll call different stores, but then you go online, it's like, it'll be delivered in 2 days.
Yeah.
Or I guarantee it will be the right one, look on the website because I get all the more specs and stuff
Right.
and get exactly what I need.
Right.
And I think it comes down, the big thing for an auto parts store is convenience is the biggest priority of it.
Absolutely.
But I think also having too many, like how you're saying there's 5 in your local, there's 5 down the street, is you're having convenience, but now you have to figure out the convenience between so many stores, and they're fighting for that. It's not a healthy
Model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to have that.
It's not healthy for them.
Not for
Yeah.
them. It's great for the consumer if they stay in business
Right.
and if they stock the right stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they paying attention to their market? Like I'm saying, I can't get a Ford oil filter, dumbest thing in the world, because they're everywhere out there. Why can't I
I got
go in and
3
buy?
of them in the freaking cul-de-sac right now.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That those auto parts stores, none of them in my town carry that filter. Drives me insane. Just look in the parking lot. Fuck sakes, guys. I mean, seriously.
Right.
well,
They got
You should
cameras.
have 10 on the freaking shelf.
do you
Right.
feel like then more a local auto parts store should be taking more customer surveys?
So I used to work in auto parts,
Yeah.
actually, when I was
Okay.
young. And their point of sale systems keep track of what they sell.
Okay.
So the whole point is the salespeople that resupply their stock,
Yeah.
they get those reports and they say, hey, you're selling a lot of X
Yeah.
for this type of vehicle. That's what you should stock.
Yeah.
They have that information.
But-
they don't need to do sales surveys.
But that is what they're selling. Now, if they don't have the filters because no one's buying them,
But they are, I
they
mean,
want them, are they going to keep
Right.
track of what they didn't sell? Or
so
customers
when
will walk out.
every time I have to order it special into O'Reilly's and I
Yeah.
go pick it up, they have that as a sale
Yeah.
for that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Same with anybody else that does that
But how many customers will walk out and just go find it somewhere else
or order it online.
or online?
Yes.
And then that store does not know.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know what that problem is going to be. Order more from your stores.
Yeah. You would think,
Yeah.
or ask them specifically to stock it.
Yeah.
I will buy from you if you have it in stock. But most of the time I come in here, it's not there.
Yeah.
Can you stock these?
So
And sometimes, if they're good management, they will do it.
yeah. It also surprised me how much auto parts stores, even on varying size, carries the amount of parts they do for as wide as variety of cars they do.
It's a problem. Yeah, because you're right. The quantity of different model vehicles that is out there for them to be able to stock all that is poof.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I get it where some
Overhead
of say we could have it later on the day because they'll have most places have giant warehouses
Right.
locally where they can be like, okay, this is where most of them are. And
Right.
they'll have roughly in a store like most of your generic stuff. But still, that's a lot of real estate to actually fill up with that. And then keeping up with every new year, every new model that's come out. And then
Yep.
old stock of stuff. Like how long until they say, it's the 90s, no one's buying his cars anymore. Don't need to make them anymore. Or 80s stuff. Like I know it's, my opinion, it's harder to get 80s parts cars, anything for that. And I remember they used to be everywhere, right?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And, that's again looking at their sales reports and that kind of stuff and deciding, hey, we haven't moved these particular part numbers in whatever their terms are. They could be looking at 6, 8, 10, 12 months.
Yeah.
And say, let's take these off the shelf, and they'll restock. They'll send them back to the warehouse and just stock them there or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to sit on old inventory. They always do.
Yeah.
And then, probably like you said, the best thing to do is just order it, have it brought into because I will shop at the local auto parts store. I have no problem doing that rather than ordering it online to my house. But yeah, that's probably the best thing to do is just be like, hey, get it to the store. I will pick it up.
That's true. How much you want to bet, though, that auto parts stores, their majority of sell isn't specific parts, but I bet you is the knickknacks or the random things you weren't expecting to pick up.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you're right. They're probably better margins on that stuff too.
I mean, you go to an auto parts store and you get your stuff. Most of the time, you're going to walk around and just be like, ooh, ah, or at the counter and there's like 15 tools.
Yeah, I don't pick up many of those gadgety things. I look at them just because I'm standing there waiting my turn, right? But I'll pick up more like washer fluid or random stuff. Well, no, I buy that at the pump, but yes, stuff like that. Radiator fluid, whatever I need. I just wander around like, oh yeah, I forgot I need that, or like car wash stuff. I'll pick up that.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think that a physical store has over an online store.
Impulse buys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty good impulse buyer online. I think of it and I get my phone out and I'm like, put that in my cart. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Gloves.
I don't know. Do you think it's
latex gloves at the counter?
Do you think it's that would be a good impulse buy. Did you think it's unfortunate to lose another auto parts store? And is CarQuest going out of business too, or are they just closing?
I was looking at that. It was saying, hang on. Oregon Live was saying.
I think it's I think for us, it's not a great thing.
I think probably not great for the consumer. Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, if they're not making enough money, it doesn't make sense to keep a brick and mortar store open, right? So
it doesn't.
Maybe they go to, or somebody like that goes to Amazon sales or online sales only.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
I'm just seeing right now from like Reddit and it's just Advanced Auto Parts is closing. So I don't, because this one said Advanced Auto Parts CarQuest ? They go on business. People are just saying Advanced Auto Parts. Yeah, I know. I think it's detrimental that we're losing another store, but also like, how do you fix the model? And if there's so many,
say that again.
Detrimental.
Okay. You said denturemental. Dentures
and mental dentures.
Grandma?
Detrimental, yeah. I agree that it's not great for the consumer necessarily. I mean, there's still plenty of them in the marketplace. So I don't feel like losing just Advanced Auto Parts is going to create I don't want to say not higher demand, but it's not going to create such a gap that our prices are going to go up. You know what I mean?
The problem
prices are going up crazy anyway.
The problem I'm worried about another auto parts store and going out is it's another place that may not have, even though I said most of them have the same parts, like generic, like oil, flush, whatever. The specific part you're looking for, non-oil filter. Go to the next one. Find it. They don't have it. Go to the next one.
Yep.
And it's nice because you can't fit everything in one store. And having those varieties, you can find it going through.
I agree.
Losing another chain like that means it's one less thing, and there's not the other stores aren't expanding. No. They're staying the same size.
Well, they are going to a lot more Amazon model, so to speak. I know that you can order stuff from their store directly to your house. They'll ship it to you. Yep. And usually if you spend $80 or more, it's free shipping.
Yeah.
Which I really like that. Let me ask you guys though, both of you this. You're going down the street, you got to go buy a part, you haven't looked on whatever. You've got the choice of 5 different auto parts store. Which one do you go to first?
Napa.
Ooh. I would say Napa would be my first go-to.
Okay.
For quality of part, if I know it's a specific part I'm looking for. Now, if it's generalized parts, I feel like AutoZone because they have a lot more bigger variety.
They do have a good.
And it depends on like what the project. If something like I'm fixing a lawnmower, or it's a car that just needs to get in and out for a friend, and they don't want to put a lot of money, I'll go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's an old timer at mine that I like going and talking to.
Yeah. And that's the other thing.
It's rare to find too.
Going to if making a connection at an auto parts store is, in my opinion, a good and a big thing, part of car culture.
Yeah, if you find somebody that actually is smart about cars and knows some stuff. There are some young guys that are trying, but they don't really know much. And personality is a big thing too.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you there. Making that connection is pretty cool. Personally, I go to O'Reilly because it's a little bit more convenient. My second stop is Napa. I do like the people in my Napa store. They're pretty good. I've never been in the other 3.
Really?
Yep. And I noticed neither of you mentioned Advanced either.
And it's very, I never have until like that closing, and maybe one time before that.
It's kind of funny because the Advanced Auto Part is across the street from my O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
but it's not as easy to get into because
Oh,
the street is Highway 26.
You want a theory?
It's I have to turn across traffic, and I don't have to do that on the
Yeah.
other one.
So for me, I hit Napa first because it's closest. O'Reilly's is second because it's just a little bit past that, and then Advanced Auto's the third.
You want my theory why that is? Because Advanced Auto Parts sounds like it needs a .com at the end.
Maybe it does. Maybe they would have done better.
If it
hey, Advanced,
feels
we
like
got an idea for you.
when you see it, Advanced Auto Parts, saying that to me, it just is like shiny, new, like
They're advanced.
filler, like words.
Oh yeah,
You know,
filler word.
Filler words, Auto Parts.
like if you say like it's kind of like going to a dry clearance, like Super Cowboy Washing Laundromat or whatever. You know what I mean? Just say laundromat.
Super cowboy washing.
God damn it! I didn't grab a beer.
You know, I think because if they had like Napa, O'Reilly's,
Yeah.
but they're all very specific. You say that, you know it is. I'm thinking just what's the other one that's red? Auto something. AutoZone.
AutoZone.
Because they're all single word. You know what it is. If you just say Advanced Auto Parts, what's Auto Parts? Well, they're advanced. I know. For me, that just sounds really generic.
Okay.
And I think that's probably one of the reasons.
So their name didn't catch you.
Yes.
O'Reilly's doesn't sound, auto partsy
Yeah.
necessarily.
No.
But that's the thing is you associate O'Reilly's with Auto Parts.
You do, yeah.
You know,
And you do Napa just because it's been around forever.
yeah. But again, it's a name. It's kind of like saying,
a brand.
Ford or Toyota
brand,
or Lexus.
Yeah,
And they built that.
For sure.
I wonder if somebody's going to take over or buy out the buildings or something.
Blockbuster.
Well, somebody will.
Because remember
Epic.
National Auto Parts?
Yeah.
No, that was
They
the
went
thing.
out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because it's too generic sounding.
So you're more curious, not. Yes, somebody will buy out the buildings or lease the buildings and probably put a restaurant in there or something. But
Maybe.
I
They
got-
are pretty clean.
I got another one. Baxter's Auto Parts.
they're still around.
Yeah.
They're still around.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're small time. They're not near as big as Advance.
Yeah, I think they're fewer and farther between,
But is your question more, will another auto parts company
Right.
open up in their
Yes.
locations?
because they have
Possibly. Somebody new?
CarQuest.
Summit? Can we get Summit to open
Summit,
up some
yeah.
locations?
That'd be kind of sick. Well, Summit, I think, is a little bit tougher nowadays because, like, Summit is for mostly muscle car, right?
It is performance, really.
Yeah.
performance cars.
And I don't know. I wouldn't classify it strictly muscle car because I
Okay.
do believe they sell a lot of JDM performance stuff.
Okay.
I would love to see a performance car place buy them out.
Well, it'd be epic, but
Right.
I would bet they would have a hard
profit.
time. They would have a hard time keeping the doors open
Because-
with overhead and that kind of
The
stuff.
problem about building a performance auto parts store is you have to know what your consumer base in that area is going to buy.
Exactly.
There is no point to set up a performance car shop of JDM stuff when you're trying to sell to off-road guys in the middle of the woods.
Yep.
And they're
Well,
building.
yeah, no, I agree with that. But
be
like
super hard.
up the street here,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't make sense to have a 4x4 shop. Might make sense to have a
There actually is one down the
performance
street.
JDM shop. Well, yeah, but there's only one.
Yeah.
There's not a dozen
I
of
think,
them.
I don't think you can open that in a large scale, right? Those are, like you said, there's one 4x4 shop within a 100-mile radius, maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably smaller
It's probably
than that.
smaller than that,
But still, the idea is the same, right? Because those people looking for the performance-specific parts are willing to travel to the place if they need to.
Yep.
So you've got 5 part stores
Yeah.
in your small town. Grant,
Yes.
how many do we have here in Beaverton? Not including Hillsborough, just Beaverton.
Just Beaverton?
And I'll bet you've got multiples of the same brand.
Yes.
Beaverton, I think we're up to like 12. And it's mainly those big 5 or 4.
I
and just
bet
times
you
2 or
it's
3.
more than that.
Oh, we have the big 5 on TV Highway. We got or 4. We
couple down.
O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, and
CarQuest.
CarQuest. There's one more. I can't remember. Anyways,
Advance.
I guess Advance. They're all on TV Highway. Then we also have on or Cedar Hills Crossing. Same ones are over there, and then they're just scattered a little bit throughout Beaverton.
And then you've got the Napa right downtown.
Pretty heavy market saturation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would venture to guess we probably got 15 if you really started looking,
Well,
because
you probably got some
on the
mom and
other
pop
side
shop.
of 26,
Yeah.
there's like 3 more over there.
But that's the thing is, there's so many that are there. It's nice because you can leave your shop or car or garage or whatever and get a part, and the convenience is there. But is that a hindrance to how many stores are competing with themselves?
Yes.
Now, if they're all
It's bad for them.
yeah.
Yeah. Imagine all that inventory that Napa and O'Reilly, and they've got 3 or 4 stores each within a 15-mile or less radius. Maybe a 10-mile radius.
Oh,
The
yeah.
amount of inventory that they
How
have to
far is
carry
it from here to Gresham? 20 miles?
Yeah.
to Gresham? Yeah,
I bet you there's
25.
15 or more Napas between here and there.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm with all of the auto parts store going through, have you guys ever thought about like how long does oils and items and parts sit on shelves?
How
Because
long
some of
do
them
they
kind-
sit?
How long do they sit?
There is a date stamped on them.
No, I get that, but I'm saying how long will a store let something sit?
I don't know, but they have a 5-year shelf life.
For what?
Oil.
Oil.
Okay. Well, I know, for example, some filters and stuff don't have that because of rubber gaskets.
Right.
Or you have seals or whatever.
They don't let it sit. From my experience, they don't let it sit that long. That's why they do inventory reviews and that kind of stuff. Like I said,
Yeah.
if that store hasn't moved a particular part number, a SKU,
Yeah.
within 6 to 8 months, they're going to review that and be like, okay, we think we're going to hold on to it for another 4 months. Let's make it a full year. If it doesn't move by then, let's ship it back. Let's get a different part number in here and try to sell
So then
that.
what happens? It gets shipped back and does it stay
Back
in
to
the
the
warehouse,
warehouse.
or does it get sold? So once it's in their warehouse,
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, it could sit for years. They could throw it away, or who knows?
yeah.
Who knows?
That
Oh, that's a lot.
is 19 stores
For
less than 20 miles.
For Napa?
Yes, just Napa.
just Napa?
Wow.
Whoa.
Just Napa.
That's a lot of overhead.
There's
Yeah.
2
Think about
Napas in Beaverton.
Yep.
That is a lot of overhead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's no wonder a place like Advance, if their sales aren't that good, trying to compete against Napa and O'Reilly, and
Yeah.
that's
No.
why those
I-
places go out of business.
I will say when you have that, I guess it's going against what I was saying earlier, but having that many stores, the huge benefit is more warehouse space, meaning even if that store doesn't have it, you can direct the customer to one that's close by that has it because of the amount of actual physical locations that are.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got a lot of inventory sitting around. Plus, like Napa and O'Reilly both run trucks over the city all the time.
Yes.
So they will bring you a part from another store.
Yes.
If they don't have it in the warehouse, if they know where it's at, they can get it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Same radius.
radius. 12.
For O'Reilly.
That's advanced.
Oh, that's advanced. 12 stores.
Wow.
So 3 less stores.
Yeah.
Let's try O'Reilly.
I thought you said 19.
Oh yeah, maybe it was 19.
seven
So
less.
7 less stores.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's any way that Advanced Auto Parts could have survived?
Yeah, possibly.
What would it,
I mean,
what would it take it for that?
we would really have to know
buddy.
more about their management and that kind of stuff and what they were doing and their margins. And there's all kinds of question marks around that.
We should get an owner of a franchise in here. That'd be interesting to talk to them about that.
It would be.
Yeah. Do you guys ever order off eBay? Like, what are some like
I do
online
not.
stores you
I
guys
used to
order
do.
off?
19.
For who?
O'Reilly.
Okay.
That's a lot of stores.
Yeah, think about it. Just that's 3 different.
Just 3 of the big 5.
Right.
And we're talking 2 of them had almost 40 stores.
That's 50. 50 stores total
Yeah.
in
20.
12-mile radius.
20 mile.
20-mile radius.
20-mile radius. 50 stores.
Just
out
2
of-
miles per mile, or 2 stores per mile.
That's a bunch. That is. Well, we are in a pretty heavily populated area, pretty
Yeah.
dense population. But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You were saying?
So online stores, how many online stores do you guys use? Like
Oh,
eBay,
right.
Amazon?
So eBay, I used to do a lot of eBay stuff when I was restoring motorcycles, buy and sell both. And that was back, I guess I stopped doing that around 2016.
About the
and I
time
have-
it turned into a store.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped shopping eBay after that
Yep.
completely. I lost trust in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it went away from the auction-based system,
Yeah.
that's kind of when I
Stopped.
To hit like the
Yeah.
buy it now, you mean?
It's all buy it now, isn't it?
yeah.
No, a lot. Well, you're still gonna have auctions, but a lot of it is buy it now.
Oh yeah.
Most of the stuff I've searched for in the last couple of years on there has not been a auction.
That's
Okay.
too bad. I really liked it when it's auction
I
based.
know. It was fun.
I liked shopping eBay. I liked buying from individuals, not a eBay store. You know, and I sold a lot of stuff. I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Selling stuff on eBay. I really did. I paid for the restorations of those motorcycles by selling other parts.
Wow,
Never had to pay out of my pocket.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. But then I lost faith in eBay. I haven't bought anything from them since. Haven't sold anything on eBay since.
Yeah, for me, I use eBay a good amount of the time, but it's mainly because I do it for older vehicles, and not even just like
Yeah.
for personal vehicles, but for company vehicles.
So the vendors you buy from, are they personal or are they
a
stores?
lot of them, I think, are well. It depends on what I'm looking for. If it's like say for the Lambo, and I need to find brake calipers for a Fiero for a specific year,
Yep.
you know,
Just depends on who pops
it
up.
depends on who has it, what the review on their stars are.
Yeah.
And I personally like it when I'm buying a part. I'd rather not have an auction. I'd rather just hit buy now or a best offer because
that's
best offer
understandable.
helps a lot.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's totally understandable.
Do you Google that part and then whoever pops up, that's where you go?
For eBay specifically, no. Like, no, or do you mean like what?
So, like, if I need a part for the truck,
Okay.
I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to Google it first.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Here's my problem with that, and for some of our bigger equipment, and I've done that, and it's you can type in the part number and find it. The problem I have with buying anything just straight off of Google and then finding a random website going that way is a lot of the time you're putting a credit card information to a site I don't know.
Yep.
For
Yeah, I don't
someone's
like
going
that.
through that.
I don't like that.
not big
I have a
on
lot more trust if I can go through a big name app like Amazon or eBay if I'm buying
Or if
online,
you can
or
pay
like
with
Summit
PayPal or something like
something that
Okay,
like
so has eBay changed their pay policy? So you pay eBay directly and then they disperse funds, or
it goes through PayPal.
It goes through PayPal.
Oh,
Or I could put a credit card on there, and but I know like it's a more. If you have a bigger app, if something goes
Yeah.
wrong, there's more ways to talk to it rather than a website that's owned by some guy. And then you gotta
no?
talk to the
Yeah, I
bank
don't
and-
trust a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and sometimes it's tough because like you'll find maybe on a website a specific part that you need, like for a crane, forklift, whatever.
Yep.
And I'll try to find another way onto those bigger sites. I recommend, honestly, if those stores are doing it, have an affiliated link that they've got on Amazon or eBay or something that a customer can get it, because not everyone's going to want to buy through a website. But if they find the same thing through the same store with the official page on that and click buy it now, why not? They have the
Or if
fallback.
they have an Amazon store.
Yes.
And you can go to their website from the Amazon store. Mm-hmm. I would buy from a company that was affiliated with Amazon.
Possibly. I mean, you can still. I think there's some shady companies on Amazon. They have to follow some pretty strict protocols.
Yes.
And if you buy through Amazon, you've got recourse on getting your money back and that kind of stuff. I don't know that I would go directly to the company in most of those cases, but maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
I do buy a lot of shit on Amazon, but I try
Oh,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure it's
Me
all
too.
coming from an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah.
There's a few
I don't.
occasions that I do.
Yeah.
Personally, I do.
It depends on what I'm looking for. Books and stuff like that, I don't give a shit if it comes from the Amazon store. Because I'm looking for used books.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there is stuff that sometimes I'm like, that's fine. But usually, if you're getting it directly from the seller or whatever, you're paying shipping to. And I try to get everything with Prime and the free shipping. I'm paying for Prime.
Yeah.
I might as well use it.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have you guys ever used rockauto.com?
Yes.
I like rockauto.com.
Yeah, I have only a couple times, but yeah, I've used it.
Yeah, it's nice that you have the variety of all those, either not the main brand stores like that, but like the small mom and pop shops that are all there, have their competitive prices, and you can click and add to your cart.
I didn't even realize. So they're an affiliate, basically. So small shops go to them to.
Yeah, I'm fairly positive
Sell
you can
through?
find a part, like say a bearing,
Yeah.
and there'll be like 5 different options for that, and either they're different brands where, but when you click it, it'll show a different store has it. Then
I didn't even realize how that worked.
I
That's cool.
don't think I ever realized that either,
Yeah.
actually.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
And
So-
I've bought quite a quite a bit of stuff from them.
I've only a couple of things, but yeah,
I
did not
bought
realize
stuff-
that's what was.
I'm fairly positive that's how it worked because when I was buying for the Lambo, because there's like 5 different things on that one,
Yeah.
and you would say one's coming from the middle, one's coming like from
different parts of the country. Or
correct.
Whatever. Gotcha.
And so by going through Rock Auto, that way I think how it works is you're paying them and that pays to the other stores and then shipped to center location and then shipped out after that.
Yeah.
But that's a nice one if you're looking for, I think even a modern car or whatever, it's just nice because there's so much variety and in depth on what you could get for any cars. You know, they won't have everything, but they have a good amount of stuff.
That's the thing about the internet, man. You can do some pretty deep dives.
Yay.
Speaking of, and this just popped in my head when you were talking about eBay, something that I am looking for that I have not found yet, because we talked about the V10, right?
Yes.
So the RT10 out of the truck.
Yep.
You can get that in an automatic.
Yes.
I need a flex plate
Okay.
from the RT10 automatic. Can't find one.
Do you want to tell them why? Why you're doing
No,
that?
I do not. I just need it.
Okay.
So, new or used?
Don't care.
Don't care.
As long as it's in good shape. I mean,
Yeah.
if it were fucked up, I don't want that. But
Yeah. I'll keep my eye open.
yeah, so any of the listeners out there, if you have a line on a flex plate for an RT10, now this is a V10. It's very specific. It's an 8-volt main for a Dodge V10 motor.
Yep.
Flex plate. I need it.
Yeah.
Contact us. The closest thing I've found is a remanufactured, and it's not a flex plate. It's a pressure plate for $600 or something stupid. It'll work, but it's not what I want. It weighs a lot more than a flex plate, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
So
Anybody knows where I can get one. And this is the funny thing too is, I mean, it's not a commonly replaced part, so it's a little bit understandable that they're hard to come by. And the car or the truck, the RT10, was not built, 3 years?
it was built from 2003, I think, to 2006.
Okay. Yeah,
think.
about 3 years. Maybe if you count those 2 years, it's 5. But, yeah, that's what I need. And like I said, it's not a part that's replaced a lot.
RT10. Can it be older?
2004, 2006 is when they were produced.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
4, 5,
8.3.
and 6,
That's the
yeah, it's only 3
RT10
years.
though. What about
No, that's the SRT10.
SRT10?
That's
But
the one with the Viper motor.
Hold on. What about
That's-
the older V10?
No, different motor.
in the truck.
As long as it's got the 8-volt main.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Because I would wonder if the older V10 and the 90s Dodge V10 pickups.
I don't know. I don't
Had the
think they
same
had
bolt
the 8.
pattern.
I think they only had a 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense.
Right.
yeah. I had a train of thought, and now the wheels moving. I can't think of what it was. Oh, here we go. So I was going to say,
Clicked into
because
place.
this is one thing I want to let our listeners know, as well as you, Rob, know, and I haven't figured out how to do this, but I know you can do this. You can set up save notifications on eBay, and I don't know what other websites you can for if specific items become available with the word you're searching for, and it will notify you. And that's one thing you should set up is say,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, for
SRT10 Viper truck, flex plane, or whatever.
Yep.
And then that way, if in a week time something comes available, you get notification, you know to go to see it immediately.
That'd be nice. That's a good idea.
It saves our listeners and us a lot of time for
Searching.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I need that. I need to figure that out
Yeah.
for sure. All right. Well, that was just a side tangent because I thought of it. So if anybody knows of something out there, maybe a wrecked SRT10,
Yeah.
right? And they're dismantling,
Never,
separating the motor from the tranny, and I need your flex plate.
I can't believe
There's
no,
got to be some wrecked ones out there,
I'm
right?
surprised there's not
I'm
new
sure.
old stock of one available.
No, they don't make
Whereas,
it.
I mean, you can still find new old stock Viper crate motors, 0 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very hard to find, but they're out there.
Sure.
Somebody probably still makes that flex plate.
Man, I can't find it on a search for nothing. It's discontinued.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a 3-year run. 04 to 06, you said?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
What?
The flex plate?
No.
No, he's fine one. It's
I need one.
So, because okay, I'm going on a tangent. The original SRT10 Viper motor that was in the Viper came onto a TR6060 transmission, right? Or T56 transmission. And that was a flywheel to clutch going onto it.
Yes.
That same motor was built for 3 years, was put into the trucks. Those trucks came in on automatic.
Yes.
So even limited more run than the Vipers because Viper,
Yes. Yep.
continued on. So finding that very specific automatic
Yep.
flex plate.
The flex plate. Yep.
know.
That's what I need. I want.
No torque converter though.
Nope.
Have you tried looking?
Don't want it.
Have you tried looking for the torque converter? And because of a used place sells them together.
That's a good point. I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
That
thought.
might be a way to look into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would suck having to get the torque converter too, but
But it might be worth it.
exactly.
Might
Yeah.
be.
No, that's a good thought too.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is if you could find the dimensions and the teeth count, you can probably have it made.
I did think of that. Yeah. I thought, well, worst case scenario, I don't know who would make that, but
Any
that'd
machine
probably
shop.
be very expensive too.
I wouldn't think it would be inexpensive, but $500 maybe.
That'd probably be worth it. Because, yeah. Anyway, so there's my side tangent, I guess.
You could always, if you find a full transmission that comes with that too, then you just sell
Sell the rest of the pieces.
just sell the transmission itself.
Good point. Yeah, I guess there's ways around it. My search was pretty narrow in that respect.
Doesn't the flex plate bolt to the motor though?
Yes.
You might not get it if you buy the transmission.
True. That's true.
You might if you get the torque converter.
It might have a
maybe
part
not.
number.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You just look
No,
at
I found the part number.
okay.
Yeah.
Did you try searching that in there?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Interesting problem.
move on. We can touch on that a little later again. So I wanted to talk about our upcoming year, 2025 in the making.
Hooray!
Yes.
Yes, sir. What you want to do, where you want to go, things you want to look for this year, racing, events, anything different that you haven't done before, stuff like that.
Okay.
What do you got? You got anything off the top of your head?
I do, but it's still loading. So Jeremy, you go first.
So yeah, actually, there's some races that I've been wanting to go to in Portland for a while.
Oh, okay.
There's a Grand Prix that comes here.
Yeah.
The Portland Grand Prix, I think. I want to go to that this year. I'd love to do the Formula E,
Yep.
just out of sheer curiosity.
That'd be fun.
It was cool. I went this last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Is Indy coming back?
Yes.
I would love to go see that.
Yes.
I do want to make it to some of the autocrosses this year.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily as a driver, but maybe as a cameraman.
Sure, we can strap a camera to your face.
Yeah. Wife got to test out the trailer this week.
Oh.
So I towed it down to McMinnville.
What was the lap times?
Yeah.
I can tell you I was fucking terrified driving it in the pouring ass rain on back roads with lights coming at me because I couldn't see the lines.
Oh damn!
That was fun.
Yep.
Dumped shit all over the fucking ground.
The fun times of having a camp trailer.
The smartest thing I did was make sure I had an extra set of gloves in the under the back seat of the truck.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was fun. They had a good time. I towed it down there for them and went home and hung out with the dogs and then towed it back.
All right.
So yeah,
What about you, Rob?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole list of stuff I want to do up there. I mean, I want to do C10 Nationals. We talked about that right at the top a little bit. Can't do Texas, but I'm going to look at going to the Vegas one. I'd like to do LS Fest and Optima. Those run back to back from talking to John about those events. And gosh, I think that was in April. Something like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a global time attack this year. Probably at the Ridge.
That'd be
Because
good.
that's as local as they come. If they're going to do global at the Ridge this year, I don't know that their turnout has been good enough to bring them back.
What's global?
So, global Time Attack.
Oh, okay.
That's the group that puts it on.
Okay.
SCCA Time Attack. Hopefully they come back to Portland. They skipped last year. They didn't do any, so I didn't get to do it. So hopefully they come back and I'll do those events. maybe some HPDEs, get you out on the track too.
What is HPDE?
High performance driving. What's the E?
Education?
I think it might be educational.
I thought that was an orange vest.
something. Anyway,
Interesting. Yeah.
so some of those just track days,
Yeah.
right? Get you out there.
Yay!
Both at Portland and at the Ridge. Of course, we're going to do some autocross. I want to go back to Crows this year since last year got canceled. Maybe I can talk.
120 degrees.
Maybe I can talk you and Jason into trying again.
Yay. Hopefully not 120 degrees.
Hopefully not. Maybe we can do some track cross at ORP. I put drift events on the list because
We should attend that.
Ian was going to be here. I wanted
Yeah.
to talk to him about what events are coming up. He likes to do that one big event out in Walla Walla area.
Yep.
And, we were going to talk about that. I wouldn't mind attending a drift event just to check it out, though I did finally get to see some drifting down at SEMA.
Yeah.
Their drift pad was, in my opinion, a little bit small. I didn't really ask Ian if that was normal size or if that was kind of small area.
That's what she said.
I get that a lot. Of course, SEMA again, and then possibly PRI, though that's a tough one because it
Yeah.
is second week of December.
Right.
And
And
so
it's
that
not
timing-
that long after.
No, it's right
SEMA.
after SEMA, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, a month.
So,
So that one's a little bit tough.
yeah.
But I got to start getting all of that stuff on my calendar and see how it works out financially as well as time off of work. Also, on my bucket list, I want to do a global time attack at Texas. That's a big one.
Would you drive or just ship your car down?
I would drive it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
and that would be at COTA, Circuit of the Americas.
I just thought of three more.
Okay.
Hill climb. There's one in Eastern Washington,
Maryhill.
Mary Hill. I'd love to go see that, and I'd actually love to see
would
you
be
in the vet
Oh, fuck
blast that.
It's intriguing, but I'm a little bit scared of it, honestly. Yeah.
I feel like hill climbs, you have to have a dedicated car built for that,
Caged.
especially safety.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I know, you take it at your own limits and you be careful and that kind of stuff. I'm sure I would do just fine. Because I wouldn't be out there trying to break records or anything like that. But I'd like to go see one before
Yeah.
I would be like, I really want to do it.
Let's go watch one.
Yeah, we put it on the calendar and see if it lines up.
Oregon Trail Rally. I want to go watch that
wanna see that
again
too.
this year.
There you go.
I think that would be a blast. And then the weekend before SEMA is the NHRA drags.
Right. At Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's something I did this last year too that we never talked about. I went to the NASCAR races down in Phoenix after SEMA, the weekend after SEMA.
Yes.
I went to that, and that was a kick in the butt. It's the first NASCAR race I'd ever been to,
Nice.
and those guys got their shit together. Like the organizers, NASCAR, whoever puts on the event, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
They've been
so
doing it a
good.
while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, even if you think about professional sporting events that you go to and stuff like that, sometimes they're organized, sometimes they're not. These guys got their shit together. That's a lot of people to put into a space, and it was so smooth getting in and out, and like it was really well run, well put together event. I was super impressed. Had a great time. Racing was phenomenal. I will do another NASCAR event this year, whether it's Phoenix or another one. I'd like to go to like Talladega or something, see one of the big speedways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Brickyard would be nice too.
Brickyard would be awesome, or Daytona.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's definitely on a list for me, whether it's this year or next year or however it fits. Like I said, I got to look at a calendar and kind of plan out my year.
Yeah.
Gonna be busy. Gonna be really
Oh,
busy.
yeah. For sure.
Crazy. Yeah.
So,
The wheels were clicking over there, Grant. What do you
Yeah.
got?
got a few events on that one.
Yeah.
I think the big one right off the bat that I want to make this year, last year was the first time I've ever missed ORP. For our listeners on here, ORP, when typically we say this or anyone in the local area says it, that's an autocross person, means track cross
Yep.
is what it is.
Right.
A combination of autocross on a track. I missed that last year, first time me and Liger have. I don't want to miss that again this year. That's one of my favorite events to go to.
Yep.
So that's one. The next events I want to go, I definitely want to hit Up Optimo. If I can get Liger in shape for that, I think that'd be a good one to hit.
Here's a bummer for Optima. So talking to the guys at SEMA about Optima, we lost the Optima event in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the turnout wasn't enough. Not enough people came out.
Yeah.
So it's not financially reasonable for them to come back.
Okay. I definitely want to go to some rally this year. Oregon Trail rally. That's definitely one that got in my mind. Some drift events. I've never been to a drift event, and I think it'd be amazing to go with Ian to something like that. You know, getting on the track in general, I think would be fun. I haven't done that with Liger yet, and been working to encourage that one. So main thing is getting Liger in shape, getting her ready, having me lose a couple pounds.
Overrated.
Yeah. And then
just
that through
before your run.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'll let the air out of the tires too. That'll save some weight, right?
Yeah.
You mean you don't do that first already?
So, and then in terms of like some of the bigger events that are more nationally going through, I'd love to go back to SEMA. That was a major trip.
We're going.
Okay.
We are 100% going back to SEMA.
Fine. Yay. I think a fun one would be a hill climb, but Pikes Peak.
Oh yeah.
If not this year, next year, I want to put that down on one to go through.
That is on my list of places I want to go see.
I feel like this year should be one of these big events, which is that. Another big event that might take place on that would be the Salt Flats, the speed record would be kind of cool to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or going to something, this would be more my case. I would like to go to Pebble Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And see all the
concourse.
Yeah. I think something that's like, because we don't have all the time in the world to go do racing and project cars and this, but definitely setting our sights on a big thing to go to would be fun.
Yep.
You know, and something we have to travel to and make an event out of that.
Washougal for the motocross nationals would be fun.
Yeah.
Overrated.
My biggest thing.
Yeah, it'd be fun to go watch though.
Yeah.
My biggest thing I plan on doing this year though is I think I may have talked about on one of our shows. I'm taking my cousin and his friend under my wing as some of my students for this year. Both for learning how to drive as well as they want to start autocrossing. So I plan on doing some more local and not as big events just to get their beaks wet and have them teach them like how to really learn their cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, who are these people?
My little cousin and his friend.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. My little cousin just bought a 2008 Mustang. Same as, a year newer than Liger, but same body style, same everything,
Same motor?
Same motor. He's got a 5-speed, but that's, again, what Liger had. And he's been pretty adamant. He's like, oh, what kind of wheels do you suggest? I'm like, keep it stock. Don't put anything in this car.
Weird.
Yeah.
Learn it before you do anything to it.
I'm trying to beat into his head with that car, with that style of Mustang. If you don't modify it and keep it there and modify it once you master what it is and then put in brakes, master that. Put in a sway bar, master that. You will learn that car as it evolves through, and that will set you up for any other car in the future.
So much better. Yeah, I mean, I know we've preached that over and over and over again, and people don't want to do it, but understandable to a degree. But yeah, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
That's the way.
In terms of his friend, I asked him if he wanted to have that same thing. Do you want to be good in overall cars? And I'm like, if so, buy either that or another Mustang. Or do you want to be very specific on good at a certain type of, whether it's like an RX-7, a Mini Cooper, an MR2? And he's leaning more towards the specific type. Like, I will help you the best I can, but when you get to the point where you're above my teachings, I'm going to find the person who knows way more about those cars, and you're going to learn from them. If that's what he wants to go through and go very specific.
What car is he going with?
Specific is fine, but honestly, even if you want to specialize in a certain vehicle, learning other vehicles around it and what they can do, I think helps hone you in more to like driving your own car, say it's a Miata or a CRX or whatever, front wheel drive, so that you have a wider range of knowledge, things that you want your car to be able to do, so you know how to hone it in, you know how to tune this or that. There's like, okay, this car does this and this one won't. Why?
Yeah.
What do I need to do to make this turn the way it should, not push so hard or this or that,
Yeah. And I agree. And that's like how I agree for that style of teaching. But let's just say for his friend, that's what, and I asked him for, that's what he'd rather just hone in on one.
Yeah. Focus
and he's
on
still, he has a BMW now. I believe, but it's on Mac. He wants to get rid of it and get to a 5-speed because he doesn't want to learn manual and get that, and he hasn't decided what car he's going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if you stick with the Mustang kind of platform, even if it's not a Liger, like just a little bit older, from there you can build up and not put a lot of money into it and really learn these cars, and I'll teach you broadband. Even though like a Camaro or something like that,
Yep.
you know, or an 8.6. But like once you start getting into Miatas that are way more balanced, or Corvettes with more power and balance, when you get into an MR2, like they're good. All of them are good, but they're not. I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, but it's not like very rudimentary engine, brakes, suspension, and it works. Kind of.
Works.
You're trying to make something go fast that's very basic, you know.
Yeah.
And then from there you can build on up.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little bit away from
Events. Anyways.
events.
Yes. And then the other thing I want to do is once the Lamborghini is done and possibly wrapped, take it to an anime convention and see if we can be like, Fujika Urika, look, the Lamborghini, it's wrapped in Fujika Urika. And you're like, oh my gosh.
There's 5 seconds of fame.
I just puked in my mouth.
You do that a lot.
I can't tell you how many people are actually excited to
gross.
see that wrapped.
How many of them are in the car community?
Who's going to pay for it?
We will find out those details later.
Zero. Zero of them are in the car community.
There's a few car people in there.
No.
Problem.
No, there's not.
So.
I have I'm kind of on Jeremy's side on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you're going to do what you're going to do, so whatever.
Yeah.
I did think of another one while we were ranting.
Oh,
Comic-Con?
no. This one's epic.
Goodwood Festival.
Yes.
Yes,
That's a
that's when
bucket
we need
list
to go.
for me.
That's in Europe?
Yeah, it's in
England?
England.
Yeah.
That one I'd like to go. It'd be fun to do that in period piece, like bring clothes that are like...
Oh, man, a lot of people do that. They go all out. I mean, I don't care much about that. I'm not into that, but I really want to go to that.
I'd talk to you like that old chap when we'd be over there.
Yeah. 100%.
Hello,
No,
Josh.
Goodwood has been on my list for a good 5 years or so. I really want to go. I need to just make it happen.
Yeah. You can get some Goodwood, or go to Goodwood, but you don't have to spend it on the pill.
Get some Goodwood. I'd like to get some Goodwood, please.
And that's the end. We've been canceled.
And then the other thing that I thought of too that I did this last year is I went to a bunch of local races, dirt tracks, and kind of just on a random weekend.
Yeah.
Let's go to the track and
Yeah.
watch some racing. It's a good time.
We got Banks right out here.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough. It is so much fun.
It's like $10.
Yeah, it's super cheap weekend entertainment, man. It's the best.
I've gotten the...
Anybody, all you people out there, all you listeners, go to your local track, support those racers, have some fun, watch some door banging. It's a good time.
I've got an idea. I think we should use our Facebook group to our advantage. And this I think we should do for 2025 and just say it out here. I think it would be amazing. Every month, starting a month, and just leave it as pinned comment on top and say, where do you recommend going locally for February of this? And then we post one for March. And then
For everybody, for like across the country, what are you talking about?
either or. We could either do it for locally and say West Coast or whatever, or...
I mean,
I got
anybody
another
out there
idea.
want to post that on our group, go for it. You know,
Yeah.
if you've got a local race, you want to say, hey, we're, such and such a track is
We want to
running this
promote
weekend.
this race.
Freaking do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
just that
all
way
about it.
we know what's going on and we could go and other people can enjoy it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
That's great.
I got
Absolutely.
another idea.
Okay.
Why don't we find a couple of those dirt events and make it a listener party?
Yeah, we could.
Like we'll go and
So
sit
you
in the
guys-
stands and drink beer with you guys.
You guys recall Sean Kane? He was probably on episode 5 or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
He raced one dirt track event last year. I believe he bought a car,
Nice.
and he is going to race this next year coming up. So
You mean the Ranger?
no, that's Max.
No, that's
Okay.
Max. Yeah.
No, he's got some little hatchback something. He sent me a picture of it. It's got a full roll cage in it and stuff. And he's like, I'm racing it this year. And I'm
Front
like,
wheel drive.
cool. I don't even know. I didn't look
think
at it that closely.
Probably. Yeah.
Sorry, Sean. I I kind of didn't answer that text. But anyway, here I am answering your text. No,
Hopefully you listen.
he does.
My thought...
Yeah. So anyway, it'd be kind of cool to go out and support him too.
Yeah.
Watch him, run around the track.
Yeah. My thought was if we can get it on Facebook and we can kind of figure out where we're going to go in advance. Like, okay, we're guaranteed on February we're going to this.
Yeah. Have a group go.
And just
Show
let people
up.
know.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where we're going to
I
be.
don't know if there's
That's
anything
fine.
in February. You might.
But I'm just saying,
May or something like
June,
that.
July, whatever, like every month, because that way we could see events they're going through.
Yeah.
People know where we're going to be at.
We'll do it.
Rallies
We'll make a
coming.
plan. We'll make a plan. We'll advertise it ahead of time. If anybody wants to show up, the locals or whatever,
Yeah.
Get a sticker.
come say hi.
And a Polaroid.
Grab some stickers.
And a Polaroid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And we'll wear our gear so you know who we are.
Yeah, it's very hard to miss the running around orange cone.
That's true. Yep.
I'm getting you an orange hat
Yeah, we should. That'd be really good.
in cone shape.
Anyway, the local races are a lot of fun, so I will do that again this year too. Mm-hmm. On my spare weekends when I'm not doing all the other racing things and having to work on my cars and
Ooh.
yeah,
Can I add something on that?
you may.
Beaches is gone.
It is for sure. I didn't look it up.
I know. I didn't look it up. I'm just saying last year we were talking about that. But I'm saying is if they are gone, which we're looking on the Google now, what replaces that during the week? What events actually take place that like people can go to?
Ooh.
Have you heard of any?
Well, not not sanctioned ones. Typing it in now.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Okay. And then in part 2 of that one, the other one I just realized we need to go to, I think would be really beneficial. Some Cars and Coffee.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I haven't been to one in the longest time, but I think it'd be fun to just go see cars and talk to people.
You're right. I haven't been to one in years.
Yeah.
Forever.
Years.
And you get Mark Schultz on the show and talk about, Cars and Coffee that way. Be like, okay, this is the one we're going to.
Man, this is actually harder to look up than I thought it would be.
What, Goodwood?
No.
Okay, because if you
Beaches.
type that into Google, it's going to come up with some weird results.
I'll try that next. I will try that
Let's do it on the big screen. Whoa!
next. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
If
I'm
Beaches-
totally
if
down
Beaches-
for the local thing.
Is still going on, and they didn't and end up not canceling it last year. That is definitely one thing we need to be going to more this year.
Yeah, we need to hit it a couple of times more.
Yeah, that was a fun event.
It was good. Yep. Shoot. Man, the Google is not being my friend right now.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll pull up.
Do you mind? We're at the beginning of season 2. Can I ask real quick?
You can always ask.
What was your guys' like out of all the episodes we've done so far? Is there a highlight for last season that really stuck out to you?
Ooh. Oh man.
Or an episode that like you recommend everyone because you just really like hearing it and whatnot? Like I got one for me.
Honestly, I think the Josh episode, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
was really good. If you're gonna start listening to this show, I would probably start with that one.
I'd agree. I feel like it's when we got our bearings kind of set.
Yeah,
I don't. It was only the third episode.
yeah. It was only the third one. I really liked that episode though. I actually went back and listened to it again.
Oh, okay.
You're the one.
What one was Derek on?
Um,
I'd have to look.
Jimmy's been on a few of them.
Yeah, the first one that
Was
Derek
episode
was on was pretty
9,
good.
I think.
yeah, maybe.
That was a good one.
I can't find anything on
Beaches?
beaches
We
cruising.
we'll update our listeners to that.
Yeah, we'll have
Is
to
it
figure
Mark?
that out.
What about
Mark
you, Rob?
Petronas?
Patronus.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that after you said it. Shoot, I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed some of them more than others. I don't know that I have a super highlight favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably have to look at like a list of the episodes to be able to answer that, honestly.
I think for me, the one that really sticks out, which I recommend a lot of people, is the one where you and me did, Rob. Mm-hmm. And we talked about like setting goals and getting car projects done and stuff. That was a big episode, I think, and it was very informative. And I've heard a lot of people listen to that, and they thought it was.
Yeah, I remember that. That was decent. Yeah.
Any of them with blanking Derek. Oh, I love that man. Those are always fun episodes.
Jimmy.
Yay.
I thought Jason Bromberger's episode was really good.
Jason's,
That was a good
yeah.
one. And we need to get back on because he was going to give us an update on a few things, wasn't he?
Well, we were going to go down the path of electric
Yeah.
because he is heavily involved in that industry.
And we need to get him back on.
So, if you want to talk about electric stuff, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We
that.
might know somebody that's a battery engineer.
Yeah. And I think another big one that really sticks out was our SEMA episodes.
SEMA, yeah. The first Chad one too was really good.
That was a really good one.
It's hard to pick
It's hard
because
to pick.
they were all so fun.
If someone came up to you and say, "What episode would you recommend me start?" What episode would you say?
I would say Josh. The Josh episode, number 3.
What about you, Rob? It's like you got 5 seconds to talk to someone. So what should I check out?
Latest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Mine would be I would say just jump in episode like 10 plus. Somewhere in the middle or you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't start too far back. I think there's some good content on all of them, honestly. I do agree Derek's episode I thought was really good. And I think there is, like, when I listen back to some stuff just to critique ourselves, and see how we can get better. I chuckle at some of this. I think it's pretty funny, and maybe it's more inside jokes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was funny to me. But I don't know.
I will say this to our listeners. I do appreciate all the guests that have come on. Everyone, in some regard, has made an impact on us and our listeners.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would have a hard time, I guess, picking one out.
I'd love to hear from you guys, though. Which ones are your favorite episodes? Which ones the highlights you? Listener, I'm talking to you.
Listener, I'm talking to you. Okay. All right. Well, if you don't have any other upcoming events,
I probably do.
Well, do either of you have interest in going to C10 Nationals in Vegas? Vegas sucks. I hate Vegas, but it is where it is.
What about F1?
And it'll be at the Speedway.
Isn't F1 in Vegas?
F1 is after SEMA.
Yeah, it's after.
Yeah, true.
It's a week after.
It's in November.
I'm kind of with you, Rob. I wouldn't want to. C10 would be fun, but I think it'd be better in Texas because Vegas.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the timing isn't good.
Yeah. No, I get you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some great stuff out there.
Where in Texas is it?
That is a good question because I don't remember. I looked it up, but I don't remember now.
Can I make a suggestion? Here's one.
No.
Go.
How about me and Rob go to the Vegas one because that's when we're not racing, and then Jeremy and Ian go to the one in Texas.
That would be cool.
Because then we can get a comparison.
I haven't looked at the dates on the Vegas one. We might be racing that weekend.
If it was in Austin, I could probably butt it up to a work trip.
But I think that'd be interesting to compare the two and hear,
I don't think it is in Austin, but I don't remember for sure. It could be outside of like Fort Worth.
Oh,
This isn't the Speedways out there, isn't it?
Dallas might have one. I know there's one in Austin.
Yeah, it's COTA.
Yeah.
But it's not at COTA.
It's not that one.
No, I think it might be at Texas Motor Speedway, which I think is DFW.
I thought that was in Austin.
Nope.
I'll have to look that up later.
COTA is in Austin.
Yeah.
I guess putting the pin on the last of this topic. For me personally, I think the one thing that I'd like to do is at least every month, even if we work on the project, even if we got a racing in that month, we should make time to go to some kind of local event, whether it's a car show, whether it's a meetup, whether it's a race.
Wow. No pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
What?
No, I'm just saying.
Like once a month? It could be a cars and coffee.
I know.
It doesn't need to be a whole day of thing.
We should definitely try to do that. I agree.
And I think asking
we're
for
very, very busy, and yes,
I
I
agree.
agree that we should absolutely.
I think ask them for once a month, even if we can't make it maybe once every month and a half. I think that would be at least a goal we should try to achieve.
Sure.
But that's.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
What else we got on the list?
Well, do you want to do some project updates?
Not really, unless you want to hear about the Jurassic Park
Well,
machine.
I've been working on cars.
Okay.
I did post a short little video clip to the Facebook and Instagram of putting the motor back in the silver car. I did a little time lapse on that. And so it's in. I've got all the wiring hooked up except for the coil packs. I haven't put that on yet. I finished the oiling system hookup last night. I need to mount the power steering fluid reservoir and get a belt on it, and then put the radiator in and get that all plumbed. And shoot, once the coil packs are on, it's time to put headers on, and it's nearly ready to go as far as first fire up.
Yeah.
I mean, the engine has been run, so it's not like it's the first fire up, but to fire it up in the car, it's pretty well ready.
Did you paint the valve covers red yet?
Never going to happen.
Okay. That's 5 horsepower.
It would drag 5 horsepower off of it.
Yeah, -5.
Yeah. Yeah.
-5.
It keeps the engine cooler when it runs.
No. No. It had what, those red LS7 valve cover thingies on it. Took those off because it was just holding in heat.
Yeah.
Threw them right in the garbage.
Yeah.
Ooh, these
Anyway,
are red. Funk.
yeah, got rid of that. So that's
Fastest
what I've
part
been
going off
working
the
on.
vehicle.
I've been working on that couple hours a night here and there. Actually thought it would go back together quicker. But that's my brain from when I took it apart, because I took it apart in a couple of days. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I could probably, if I'd have turned right around and put it all back together, it would have gone right back together. 8 hours, been done. But, now I've probably got 20 some hours into it and it's still not completed. But it's getting close. It's nice to see the progress. I'm enjoying working on it. Oh.
Yes. Hi.
All right. This is way off topic, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
Okay.
Over the Christmas week, one of my dogs ate a dog toy. Swallowed it whole.
Jesus.
Yeah, not good. Went through his stomach, got stuck in his small intestine.
Oof.
So my question is to you guys, how much do you spend to save your dog? What's it worth?
I got one that has a lump on his side. They told me it was going to be $7,500. I've got a 22 loaded, ready to go.
So you're not going to do it?
Fuck no.
Well, that dog's pretty old too.
Yeah.
That plays into it.
I probably would spend it on one of the other two dogs.
It's weird to say, but the age of the dog does play into it. So my dog's only 2 years old. How about you, Grant?
That's a tough question. No, it's tough because I would give anything to save my companion. But I also understand where age comes into effect, because if you think of this even from a human standpoint, you keep someone alive at 100 and something.
Yeah.
When it's going to give maybe a month and they're already in pain, and how much is a limit on to them?
Yeah.
When
they sign that DNR.
when they can keep living on life instead of being in the hospital and being hooked up and not sure if we're going to live another.
Yes.
And so for me, I think it's all situational when it comes to that one. But for me, I will do anything to protect, my animals and make sure they're healthy and give them the best life they can.
If I have a stroke.
I mean, that's the promise you made to the pet when you adopted it.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of look at it. And I have had to make that decision before to a dog that was, midlife, probably 6 years old. And at the time, I could not afford to spend thousands of dollars on an operation, and I had to put the dog down. That sucks. It's haunted me ever since, and I've sweared if I can avoid it, I will not let that happen again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, spend the money. It's only money. Fuck it.
Yep.
If say this dog was 9 years old and they only have an expected 11-year lifespan, it might have been a little different. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd probably get an estimate and be like, how much are we talking here?
Yeah.
And it sucks to say that about your pet because, right now, those are my kids. They're my best friends.
Yeah. Ozzy, the pit bull we had before the two we have now, he got diagnosed with cancer, and it was going to be $7,500. He was also older.
Yeah. And what's the prognosis with cancer, too?
Right.
Because boxers, which I have one of those, they are prone to getting cancer and stuff. And I'm like, God damn it, that's going to suck.
Yeah. So I didn't want to have to put him through that surgery.
Yep.
He also needed an ear ablation because he kept getting, ear infections and stuff like that. That was going to be $7,500. We didn't want to have to put him through that either. So we opted for ear drops and pills for the rest of his life.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Go the different route.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the situation, really.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. So dog eats a toy. It's not moving. It's stuck in his stomach. Won't pass it. He's going to die.
Dozer or Tilly would be at the vet.
Yeah. Yeah. That was it. It's like it started, he must have eaten it like Sunday night or early Monday something. By Monday afternoon, I'd gone out in the yard and I was throwing the ball for him and stuff. And he was a little slower than normal, but whatever. I didn't really read into it. Then he threw up his dinner that night. I'm like, he's just not feeling well. That'll happen. Well, dogs go through that. They throw up. Next day, they're fine. Next day, he's just slow, doesn't want to eat. this and that, just really getting lethargic. I'm like, this is not good because it's Tuesday. Wednesday is Christmas.
Right.
And I'm like, damn it. Nobody can be open. What do I do? So I waited it out. I'm like, all right. He wouldn't drink water, so I had a squeeze bottle. I'm squeezing water into his mouth, making him drink. So at least he's getting some water. Make it through Christmas Day. First thing Thursday morning, I take him to the vet. And he gets x-rays and this and that. Yep, got something stuck in his stomach. And I'm like, well, he's going to need surgery. And I'm like, great. They didn't do it there. So she refers me to another place. I take him clear across town, out to Tualatin. They do the same thing. Or they look at the x-rays and they're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We'll hydrate him. We'll see if we can get it to move. Sometimes the stuff moves. If it gets into his colon, we're good to go. He'll pass it. Wouldn't move. Wouldn't you know it. So later Thursday night, they're like, yeah, it's not moving. It's been like 8 hours. We're going to have to operate. All right, well, it is what it is. So, yeah, they operated on him, got the thing out, intubated him. He threw up, got fluid in his lungs. Now he's got pneumonia. It's going great.
Jesus.
So he came home, yesterday? Day before yesterday? Day before yesterday. He's all gurgly, blowing blood snot all over everything. I just steam cleaned all the carpets and all the furniture, and now he's messing everything up again. But
he's still here.
No big deal. He's still alive.
Yeah.
He's getting a little bit better every day. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, well, they keep asking me, so is this okay? Is this cost okay? And I laughed at her and I was like, so what if it isn't? What are you going to do?
You going to knock half the price off? Because no, I got car parts I got to buy, lady.
This is getting expensive. She's like, no, I have to ask. I was like, well, yeah, just keep going.
Was the toy recognizable?
Yes.
Like from afterwards? I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
Rottweiler.
Oh, yeah.
The big boy.
Yeah.
It was a stuffed squirrel that he basically swallowed whole.
Yeah.
About the size of your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, dog, important thing, brain and squirrel. My brain going
Running around in circles. His brain is.
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons I think it's also important to bring up is because dogs seem to be a big part of the car community, being a shop dog.
Well, that's what made me think of it, is because he's a shop dog and he's been in my videos.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the big black Rottweiler you've seen in my videos.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I was gonna ask, is they when the dog comes to my shop, I'm pretty on key when the dog's in my shop because of some metal on the ground or coolant or whatever. Like
little bits of, a zip tie or this or that. I'm really good in my shop about keeping stuff on the floor because the dogs are in there with me a lot.
Yeah.
And I know, he's got certain toys that he chews on or whatever, a ball or a cone.
Yeah.
Fine, go for it. Just don't lick up any fluids. Like if something spills on the ground, I clean it up because I don't want him licking up something poisonous.
Yeah.
So I'm really good in there, but this was just a dog. It was literally a dog toy.
Yeah.
So that bit me in the ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't give our dogs soft toys.
Yeah, I went through and threw away all the soft toys, all the small stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't give our dogs soft toys because they have them shredded in minutes.
Yeah.
And I routinely, when I give them soft stuff, have to pull strings out of their butts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So totally could see it happening.
Yeah, totally did. Anyway, that's what made me think of it as shop dog.
Yeah.
Because that's my boy.
Yeah.
Kevin and Chunky, shop dogs.
Have you guys ever heard of any other weird animals for shop pets, like a cat or like a monkey,
A lizard.
a
No.
lizard? I'm like, honestly, I like a shot dog all the
I've seen
time.
cats.
I love shop cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're good too because they'll catch mice and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true on that one.
Mice, rats, rabbits,
Yeah. Yeah.
shrews.
But nothing.
Nothing crazy.
Crazy.
Shop rabbit,
No.
You want to hear a crazy story that happened to my wife
Lizard.
recently?
Okay.
So she's got the RC 350F Sport. Fucking started it, and it died 3 times before she made it down to out of the driveway where it's sitting at right now. Either a rat or a squirrel
knew that was coming up.
chewed through one of the wires,
Damn.
and it was God, what was it? One of the exhaust sensors
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And for some reason, it grounding out killed the motor.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So just the rat was there, just bridging the gap on it. So sometimes to run, if it was running through another time, it'd be like, just, yay.
the look on your face. What? What just happened? All right. Sorry, that was that was my car update as far as the silver car. It's going back together. I don't know. I think another solid weekend and I'll have a running car.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to go get it retuned. But I think it's right there. It's real close. And then I'll be pulling the black car apart, pulling that motor out. And once that's done, it's a toss-up. Work on the C3 or work on the GMC. It'll probably be a little bit of both.
At that time, there'll be another car.
No, I'm trying not to do that. I've got, other things. I need to work on my shop, actually, the roof.
Yeah, and then you get a 65 Corvette for $12,000 coming in.
No.
Okay.
No.
If
I
it
mean,
was.
that would be a steal, but no. I got to fix the roof of my shop. I got some leaks. It's not fun. I hate that. That's what I got going.
Is it a metal roof?
It is.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's got insulation between the joists and the roofing, so you can't see where it's coming from.
Yep.
So I got to go tear the insulation off and try to track it down, or something. I don't know. I went up there and checked all the screws and tightened and replaced some of those. Just made it worse.
Yeah.
So good job for me.
Can you pull them out and put new washers under them?
I did. I pulled them out and put new ones in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with fresh washers and all.
Damn. Damn.
Yep, it's ugly. Anyway, so that's another project. Moving on.
Can I bring up a topic that's not on the list?
Do it.
I want to ask you guys, since we're at the end of the starting of the new year, and that means by this time this airs, it'll be the end of the holiday seasons. What's your guys' thoughts on all the cars that have been out with lights on the car and all the decorations on the cars?
With the tape and shit on it?
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious because I'm seeing where people pull the lights off their car and they're showing all the damage from the lights scraping their paint.
Oh,
and the tape,
So many
having to
of them.
get the tape off the car?
Yeah. It's freaking awesome. It's funny.
I will say it's cool.
Sorry you guys
seeing-
did that. I mean, it looked kind of neat to start with, but yeah, you had to figure with all the wind blowing over those lights, they're gonna
Clickety-clack.
rub.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you will see a business next year of soft put-on lights. Like, just like, instead of
People
having...
have been doing this for years.
Yeah,
I guess.
I saw a lot more this year than before.
Yeah.
Though.
It was definitely becoming a fad. Like, I saw a cool one. I saw it was a Liger-shaped car. It was a Mustang.
But
it was covered in lights that you could actually see at night a actual Liger shape on it. Like, the whole body of a Mustang. So it was very clear.
They make lights, by the way.
What?
They're called LEDs.
Yeah.
They make them in strips.
No, I get that, but like
I don't know what
Christmas
he's getting
themed.
at.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
I know.
Anyway,
But you also like, have you guys been seeing like more like trucks with wreaths on the front and more antlers on like car window? Have you guys been seeing? I've been seeing lights.
just lights.
Yeah.
Not really much of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of wreaths and a couple of cars with lights.
Normal stuff.
Not a whole bunch.
Yeah, not a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So something that you had brought up earlier when we were having dinner.
Yep.
Talk about tools. Mm-hmm. You wanna talk about used tools, or what was your thought?
My thought and we've brought up buying tools before and buying used tools, but my one thing I was going to bring up is like because if you're going shopping, say, at a garage sale or going shopping at a secondhand store or Goodwill or whatever, right? There's going to be power tools in there. And like which ones, or even if it's not power tools, it could be like tools that are not hand tools, right, Rob? When do you know when to pick them up?
Yeah.
Like I would never go to a Goodwill and try to pick up a Pittsburgh one,
No.
But if I see a Milwaukee there, is that worth paying the money for that? Is it worth taking the gamble?
Depends on how much it is, but I mean,
What's that number?
that's a hard one because
Yeah.
like I have a pretty good selection of woodworking and power tools,
Okay.
and I've either received them as a hand-me-down from my dad or bought brand new.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would actually go to Goodwill and buy,
But
unless somebody
yeah.
could prove to me that it
Yeah.
worked. I don't know if I would go there and buy something used.
So if you're just shopping and you see something like, what makes you just skip over and like, I'm not even giving that a second pace of mind?
Most of the time, I already have one.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I would agree. Like electrics, I'm not going to buy that secondhand.
Okay.
Just because it's probably half-lifed. I guess, like you were saying earlier, if it's only $20 for maybe something that I already have a battery for,
Yeah.
say a miracle you found in Milwaukee something out, 18 volt, and I already have batteries
or
for it.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe, but it's a risk.
Yeah.
It's definitely a risk. So if it's something that I don't have backup for, I don't have a battery or this or that,
Yeah.
no, I'm just going to walk right by. I'm not even going to.
And then going to the other spectrum where it's not cheap, it's expensive. Kind of like we were talking about the lathe I got. It's not a lathe, it's a milling machine lathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buying that for
The mill or a lathe?
both. I don't know. Regardless, something
Oh,
big.
it's that one tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What I'm saying is, when you're buying on the opposite end, something big, something that's $300, $1,000, that's used, and not like it's a garage sale, but it's when do you say yes, that's worth the risk to pick it up?
If you're looking at a Bridgeport milling machine from the 50s, and like I said, if it still runs, that's a good milling machine.
But if you can't test it,
If I can't test it, I'm not buying it.
yeah,
You need to prove to me that it actually works, or I'm not spending the $2,000 on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go and try to buy one of those Bridgeport milling machines brand new, you're probably looking at $12,000 and up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a machine that you have to hand crank. Like, if it's actually got a feed on it, those are more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you can find one that's got the feed and all that stuff on it, and it's from the 1950s,
yeah,
that's a good machine.
okay,
As long as they can prove that it works.
okay,
I agree. If you can test it, that's something.
Yeah, and you can rebuild the motors and stuff on it.
Especially electrics when we're not talking about battery powered.
Yeah.
Because you can plug it in and be like, okay, yes, it does work. I'm satisfied about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mill, lathe,
Yeah. I mean, those
welding machine.
That's what I was going to
big
say. What about
items.
welding machine? Because you
Yeah.
could have sometimes a welding machine will run and start, but it won't work consistently. You could have it running good for about a minute, and you can't test it like that.
No,
let's
that's
say,
true.
Going through.
It's risky.
Do you
Yeah.
pull the trigger on, say, you found a good stick welder for $300, $500 for normally like brand new, maybe a $3,000 machine, $1,000 machine. They're getting rid of it to try and downsize. How much money do you invest to fix it
Right.
versus going through it?
Ask them if you can weld with it for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Let me use it for 10 minutes. Bring my own shit. I'm just going to weld some scrap together here.
Yep.
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, if you have that opportunity, then,
But if not, let's
Try it
just say because bigger stuff you find, for example, at a lot of these auction
say
sites.
it's $1,000 machine.
Okay.
Okay. And they're asking $300 for it.
Yeah.
You can plug it in. It does turn on. You can hear it humming, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you can't necessarily go weld with it. Maybe you can strike an arc here or there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, $300. Maybe it costs you another $300 to get it fixed. Maybe it's worth it.
So the main thing is
But it's a hassle too. So you got to. What's your time worth?
it's a time worth as well as you got to figure out what it would cost to get it running if worst case scenario happens to it.
Right.
I think another
Now, here's a question for the guys that are married or have a girlfriend. Is it easier to buy that $300 machine and talk her into letting you fix it? Or is it easier to buy that $1,500 machine and dumping $1,500 right now?
couldn't answer that because I'm neither one.
Well, yeah. Are your finances combined?
Yeah.
No, that's an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the $300 machine might be worth
I
it.
mean, you have to be. I guess you got to be realistic with your partners. Like,
Right.
How much do you really need it? What's it for? Blah blah blah. All that bullshit. Best advice: keep your finances separate.
Yeah.
Flat out. That's it.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's not
Yeah.
a good idea.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot to that one.
What about precision used instruments? Whether it comes like torque wrenches or it comes to
Say it's
A
a
micrometer?
snap-on torque wrench that is super cheap. Maybe you can test it and see if it breaks over properly or whatever. You're not going to know if it's calibrated, but calibration isn't that much. It might be worth buying that.
if it's Snap-on specifically, I know you could send any of their like their electric tool in, or even for like $100. Same with their you know. So
Yeah.
roughly, you should expect that with anything. But
To
like I said,
calibrate,
to recalibrate, I think it's a like
you don't have to send them back to Snap-on.
You can have anybody do it, but
Yeah.
but whatever. I mean, you're going to spend a little bit to make sure it's calibrated.
Like say if
so-
it's not calibrated, they're gonna have to replace the spring inside of just a
Yeah.
normal one. You know.
right.
But that's
those are
Snap-on.
warranty,
But like,
though, right?
Huh? All the time. Say if you buy like a
could be
Craftsman torque wrench from
Well, your
8 years
Snap-on
ago.
one is though, right?
My Snap-on one, I need
Is
to
it
pay for that.
lifetime calibration? I don't
No.
know because I don't buy Snap-on.
Snap-on, I think I gotta actually check. I don't know what it is for the click style. I know it is for the electric you gotta send in, which I am.
Sure.
Hopefully I get them back. Anyways,
I say all the tools that don't require calibration, you know, wrenches, sockets, ratchets, buy the shit out of it. Buy it. Absolutely. Even if you already have it, buy it. At a
Yeah,
yard
because you're going to
sale,
need multiples.
at a yard sale, or you happen upon it at a Goodwill or a pawn shop or whatever, and it's cheap, freaking buy it.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, good for you.
And the reason I disagree with that is if you need it, sure. If it comes in a full set, you can get a set, great. The problem about buying odds and ends or buying something that might work, like say a random
Sockets
ratchet,
and wrenches, ratchet. Who cares?
it takes up shop real estate.
Not
Takes up a
hardly any.
drawer in your toolbox.
Hardly any. And here's why you buy it.
Okay.
Say you are working on a project, you crack a socket. Yeah, you have warranty. You can take it back. Most all tools have warranty.
Mm-hmm.
But now you need that socket. You go to the drawer where you just bought a bunch of random shit, you know, because I have 3 or 4 different toolboxes.
Mm-hmm.
Each of them have some random tools in them that I don't use all the time. I scrounge through there. I'm like, here's one. It's an old one, but it
Put it
still
in your-
works.
Yeah.
Put it in your
Yeah.
in its place,
In its
and then
place.
take that one back
Yeah.
when you get a chance.
Yeah, I still am not out of a socket. I have
Mm-hmm.
multiple sets of sockets and wrenches and this and that
I do too.
for that reason. Say you need to build a tool,
That's what I was just about. I was just thinking
because
that.
I do
Yeah,
that
you're
all
right.
the time. I dig
Got to
through
cut a
that,
socket so
gotta
you can
cut-
get it around something.
Exactly.
I
You
didn't
got to
even
cut
think about
something
that.
down, this or that or the other thing. I've got these old tools. I don't feel bad about cutting that up.
Nope.
I didn't spend, full price on it.
Yeah.
It was used to begin with.
Yeah.
So I have spares, I have extras, I have shit that I can build stuff with. Absolutely buy that. It's cheap. It's small amount of real estate that it's taken.
Yeah,
up.
and
Buy
if
it.
you have to, you get a little bucket
coffee can.
and drop them in there.
I
Something.
did not think about that. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely buy it.
Okay.
Yep.
What about when it comes to battery powered stuff? Like if it comes with a battery, like is it
I'm
best
out.
to be like,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass.
I'm out.
don't even touch it?
No.
No,
Okay.
Unless you can prove it. But used batteries,
Yeah, they don't last.
they don't last forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that one's sketchy.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
I mean, if you get the bare
maybe
tool
if-
with it,
Agreed. Okay, so maybe in somebody's instance they don't have any battery powered tools.
Smell
come-
it before you buy
They,
it.
yeah, does it
ooh,
smell
that's
burned?
a good idea.
Good call.
No,
That's a
honestly.
really good call because it could turn over but not have any torque left. Yeah, so maybe they don't have any, and that would be a good way to start. Just like, well, this was at a yard sale for fairly cheap. It didn't smell burnt.
Yeah.
It still worked. So maybe there's a start for you, but I would still just spend it once.
Mm-hmm.
Bite the bullet, spend the money on the right tool, the new one if it's battery powered.
And battery powered stuff, I would buy the one that's
Buy
a
the
little
quality.
bit better than
Yeah.
you think you need.
Yeah, buy the quality.
Otherwise, you're gonna buy it again.
Yep, you're gonna spend twice as much.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Here's
I did that
I'd be
with
super leary about used battery tools.
So
I
here's
did
the-
that with a Ryobi set.
Oh yeah.
I had a Ryobi set for years, and then the batteries actually shit the bed.
Yeah.
And the batteries were expensive enough that I think a pair of them was 50. I think they were $50 a piece, so it was going to be $100 for the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And the new set of whatever I ended up with,
Same.
Nikita, I think,
Yeah.
was $50 more
Yeah. So
with 2 batteries.
yeah.
So I ended
for
up
it.
throwing all that shit in the garbage can and just went and
Yeah.
bought the new set.
Yep. And battery and tool technology moves
Evolves.
so fast that
Antonio was just showing me a new gun that he got for Christmas, and my Milwaukee gun's 5 years old, 1,000 pounds of foot-pounds on it. He's almost 1,600 pounds.
Yeah.
Insane the amount that they're moving up in technology.
Right.
What about the quality of a used tool? In terms of like, if you're at a Goodwill and see something just beat up, when is it like it's too gone beat up?
I would need specifics. What kind of tool?
It doesn't matter anything. Let's just say if it's
wrench?
a ratchet that's like covered in rust, how much rust is it going? If you see, say like a drill, but like it's just patinaed on it.
So here's a trick for you too.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that just about every tool out there has a lifetime warranty. So if you're at Goodwill
Really?
and yes.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah. So if you're at Goodwill and you see a toolbox with just some rusty crap in it, whatever, and there's a ratchet in there that's, say, a Craftsman
Yeah.
or any brand, honestly, Husky,
Yeah.
all that stuff has lifetime warranty. If it doesn't work properly, even if it's rusted, take it back and get a new one. You pick that thing up for pennies on the dollar. You take it into the store and say, I need a new one. This one doesn't work anymore.
That's not a bad idea for like a mechanic just trying to start out. They need a new tool set. Why not go do
It
that?
has to be broken. Now,
You
like,
can make it broken. But I'm saying you buy
That is true.
it
You
cheap
can
and
make
say
it
if
broken.
it's like 15 years old and
Yeah.
you need a new ratchet.
yeah, you can take it. If
Yeah.
it stops working, and there's no evidence that you hit it with a hammer,
Yeah. But if you left outside like it rusted, I mean,
wipe the rust off. That shit comes off.
yeah. Well, I'm saying you could use that to turn in for a new one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Rust, you can't.
Yeah,
it has
it
to
still
not
works with rust on it. But anyway, that's the thing with some of those tools is they all have warranties on them.
Yeah.
So if you can pick them up cheap,
Well, it's also nice, like say for a wrench set, sometimes a brand new wrench is better than an older wrench because the clearances are way tighter, the material's different.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you're looking at off-brand Chinese stuff, this, that, or the other thing. You're right. The tolerances between your wrench teeth and whatever can be a little bit sloppy. So you got to watch out for that because you don't want to be rounding off nuts because it's supposed to be the right size, but it doesn't quite fit right.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out for that. What was something else just came and went? It was like my brain was channeling your brain and it just slipped a cog.
Yeah. Little squirrels just going, dee,
Yeah,
dee,
that's what it was.
The cog was thrown.
Yeah. So wrenches, I would pick those up all day long.
Buy a good set of screwdrivers. I bought some cheap shit one time, and I think I used them for a couple of years. I ended up throwing them in the garbage and went and bought a better set.
So you'd never buy a used
you
set of
know-
screwdrivers, would you?
I would if the tips are good.
It depends
Absolutely.
on what brand, right?
No, I'd agree with that.
Snap-on, Craftsman,
thing, I
yes.
bought some really cheap Stanley screwdrivers. Those lasted me longer
Oh, yeah.
than the expensive Craftsman stuff.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, they were really good. I don't.
I
know
used to
why.
use my Stanley as a fucking pry bar.
Yeah, some of those are really good. I mean, it's just whatever tool steel they used. The tips held up really well. I know what my other thought was about warranties and stuff like that. Even Harbor Freight tools have lifetime warranty.
Some of them. If it's got Pittsburgh
Bauer
on it,
does.
if it's got Bauer,
and Pittsburgh and the Icon.
Icon.
yes.
Yes.
But like I know Harbor Freight does sell tools that aren't, they're in the store, but they're not labeled.
Oh,
as those.
I'm sure. Yeah, some of the really cheap brand, whatever,
Yeah.
don't. Their
The Icon
their ratchets
tools aren't that much different in price than some of the other stuff.
The
though.
Icons
they
are
are. They're
getting up there.
expensive.
Yeah, they're getting up there.
If I wanted to buy like a
Their
wrench
ratchets have a
set,
little
it's
better
like,
tolerance, though.
yeah, their wrench sets are like comparable for Icon, like to gear wrench at like 200 something bucks for a full set.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you buy their Pittsburgh one at like $34 or $15.
Yep. Still has lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So their tolerance is maybe not quite the same, but they work.
Yeah.
I don't have any of their wrenches. I have a bunch of their sockets. I didn't buy any of their wrenches, so I'm not really sure about that.
I have the wrenches.
Do you?
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They were the right price.
Yeah.
I think my wrenches are either Pittsburgh or Craftsman.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of Husky and a bunch of Craftsman for wrenches.
What about air tools? Used air tools, because I mean, if they were never looped
bet.
up or
I'll bet you can find a lot of that stuff now with the battery tool revolution. I'll bet you can find a lot of air tools available.
I bet. But like if you
I've
say
never used them myself.
if you got an impact that's used for $10 and it does a breakaway force of 500, that worth picking up? Or is that taking up space in the toolbox?
What brand?
Air tool?
Air tool. It doesn't matter on brand. I'm just saying, like, it's a good working one that you found used.
If it was a good brand, yes, I would probably pick it up.
You know?
Pneumatic. Okay, so you've got to have certain amount of pressure, working pressure in your air compressor.
And some else.
And volume.
Yep.
Yeah, volume, and it has to be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So that's a drawback for a lot of people, especially home garages. You don't have that big of an air tank.
Yeah.
Mine isn't big enough.
Yeah, it would run constantly and still not have enough pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be able to hit it
Once.
every 30 seconds or something.
So if you've got
Then
someone
you pop a breaker because you're running your air compressor too much.
Yeah. If you got someone who's just like going to the thrift shop and they find like an impact gun, an air ratchet, when do you say, okay, this is good? Or a leak test?
Well, I think it's everybody's use case scenario. Are they going to be able to use it? Do they have the backup equipment to make it worthwhile?
Yeah.
You have to know what you have, right?
Yeah.
So it's impossible for us to answer.
So it's not like the sockets where it's like you find cheap, buy it. Why not have it?
Yeah.
You can, because some of those tools you can't modify and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's not the same. Yeah. You have to know what you have and how you can use it, or if you can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think my air compressor is only a 25 gallon. I don't think it's big enough to run air tools.
Okay. I guess this is the final one I was thinking about is how old of a tool would you be willing to buy used?
I'm a pretty old tool.
So I'm talking like if you found a tool like say a spark plug checker from 1950.
You didn't even smirk.
A gapper?
No, like
He didn't catch it. Are
I
you
know.
fucking kidding me?
I know.
It flew right over his head and hit the wall behind him.
Wait, what did I miss?
Exactly.
All right. So what?
Like
Spark plug
like
gapping
for
tool?
no, like for those old machines that you put a spark plug in and it sends electricity through and
Yeah.
tests out, or say like
God, I haven't seen one of those in forever.
I
I
know.
don't think they
Well,
make
that-
them anymore.
That's what I'm saying is like something that's old and vintage. We might not see it much, but like you pick it up at like an antique shop.
That'd be cool as
whatever,
hell
like,
to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is the oldest you'll go back? What is, if it's not for decorations and for use,
Oh, it's so specifying it's for use. God,
right?
I don't know. I mean,
Some of those tools made back in the early 1900s are still
good.
good.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say too. Is like that shit was built to last.
I've heard people that they'd say that some of the best welders you can buy are like from 1950 to 1940. You know?
You know why? They didn't have circuit boards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that shit
So,
just ran. direct current.
Remember earlier when we were talking about a Bridgeport mill and I said from the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
why.
the machine shop I used to work at, most of the tools were in there were from the 40s and 50s.
Probably ran on 480 too. 230.
I think they were 220s.
Yeah.
But I think they were 220s, but they were all from the 40s and 50s. And the newer stuff from the 80s and 90s
Not as
was
good.
trash
Yeah.
comparatively.
Yeah. They
So-
went through a phase where they were trying to make it cheaper.
So there is a timeline then where you say, hey, stay away from. If you're trying to use it for an actual use of it.
So here's my suggestion
Okay.
for everybody, including you.
Okay. Hi.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Look at it.
That's not always possible.
Look at it and do your research.
I was just going to say that too.
If you're
Grant.
trying to buy something from the 1930s, 1920s, how do you do research on something that
You're probably not going to find a whole bunch of information on the stuff from the 30s and 40s. You may find a little bit of,
Well, and it depends on how much advance notice you have.
Right.
If you saw it on Marketplace, then maybe you've got the time to do that.
yeah.
But if you're out, looking through antiques and this and that,
Yeah.
or maybe somebody's having an estate sale,
Yeah.
you're standing in their
One weekend
shop.
only. Here we go.
Exactly.
how many times
Trying to Google it right there.
No service.
Google's
Right.
got a really cool thing. You flip Google on now and take a picture of it, and it'll tell you what it is.
And that does work,
they've
but
had
not
that
all the
for a while.
time.
Not all the time, but
And even if it does, it might pull up a form and say, hey, look what I found. And actually not a thing that says, look at all the information about this thing.
so
Right.
what are you buying from the 1930s that you actually need?
Drill press.
Okay.
I know.
Does it
Like,
turn
Does it
on?
work?
Yeah. Does it work? Buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it works and turns over and it's something older, like you would recommend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it have multiple pulleys on the top and a
Mine
belt?
does. Mine does. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't.
Those things are fucking
I don't
awesome.
even know. Mine's from the 70s, probably. It's pretty old, but that thing's great.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
But when it comes to what's the goal in terms of like there's no age limit for as old the back you guys would buy for a tool.
No, really.
It depends on what
if
it
it's
is.
in
but-
serviceable condition, and or even if it were broken, but I can see a way to use it and fix it or something like that, then yeah, I would say buy it.
Okay.
Yeah,
bench grinders and stuff like that,
Oh,
the
heck yeah.
older ones,
yeah.
you can still buy motors for those
Really?
Shit, if you needed to,
if you need
those
to.
things are pretty
But
stout.
like, if you find a good Balder bench grinder,
oh yeah,
pick it up.
or
I'm a balder,
bench
but I'm
vise.
no inch grinder.
You are an
inch grinder.
I said bench, but you are an inch grinder. Yes.
Good bench vise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big.
That's a
old,
good one.
absolutely.
Big, like American iron.
Yes.
Anvil.
Yeah.
Yes. Great big bench vise.
An
Got it.
anvil that's
Those things are
bolted
awesome.
to or nailed to an old piece of wood.
Have you heard of
Pick it
anyone
up.
buying a modern anvil?
Yes.
But
I
they don't
have.
last though.
No,
They
they
don't?
don't like
Really?
the old ones. No. The steel's
They're
not
using
the same.
shit-
They're mostly
same.
cast, right? The new ones.
I think they're cast and then milled.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Not something I've looked into. I have I have like a 12-inch I-beam that I use.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But
And it probably works perfectly.
it works pretty well for everything I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a guy I watch on YouTube and I think I first saw him on Facebook, but I watch him on YouTube now. He actually takes chunks of railroad iron.
Oh yeah, like the track.
Yeah, track and
Yeah, yeah.
turns those into anvils.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, that'd be great.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he puts a lot of work into them.
Yeah. Now, I think there's still stuff that you can find, old working tools, like the heavy duty stuff that would be worth picking up if you're at an estate sale or you just happen across it wherever, you know. There's certain things that, yeah, absolutely worth buying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add it to your shop collection, maybe a press or something like that, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those things are, there's not a lot to go wrong with them. Worth it.
Hydraulic press.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of those older ones, they're easier and better to rebuild.
Yeah.
That's true on that one.
I mean, I've got one of the cheap ones from Harbor Freight that honestly works great for everything that I need or do with it. 20 ton or
20
whatever
ton,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if I could find an old one,
What about tools that are just so obsolete it's not worth even buying or looking at?
like,
I know, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of something that'd be obsolete that why would you even buy that?
I don't know.
Well, kind of like I brought up the spark plug tester. Like, you guys haven't seen one of those or heard about for a while.
No, but that would be cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, the only thing I think of is pneumatic, but there's got to be something else other than that. I know. Every tool's got a purpose, I guess.
Yeah, I do.
He caught it that time.
Got that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one's still stuck on the wall.
I know. That's all right. We're not going to revisit that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we kind of covered it, right? What do you got there?
Did we get
you
it
want to? There it is. We were kind of looking at tools right there. Hobbyist tools.
Yeah.
What should you have? What should you not have? What about scanners, AC machines, air compressor, alignment machines?
So
What about an alignment machine?
Like, a lot of those bigger...
alignment, you have one,
I do.
right? So not practical for everybody.
No.
I don't have room for one, but
Mine is
awesome.
compact.
Yeah.
So it's in a Pelican case.
oh, nice.
Fairly big Pelican case.
What's
but
a Pelican case?
one of
It's
those
a
hard side
suitcase.
plastic suitcase deals. It's probably 3.5 feet long by 18 inches
The
wide.
hell they call them a Pelican case?
Just what it is.
That's
So
who
big
makes
mouth?
them.
It's the brand.
Okay.
No, not practical for everybody. But if you're into motorsport and
Yeah.
you do a lot of car adjustment, super worth having.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, and I don't know. It's a great tool.
You know what I'd like to have? Scales.
Yes. And honestly now, because I looked into that as well, Jason has some of those, I think. Doesn't Jason have them? They're not super expensive
No.
anymore.
No.
So corner
No, you
balancing
can get a
your car.
good set for like
if
$2
you're into
grand.
motorsport, corner balancing your car, I think you can get them for less than $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I think you can.
That's something I would look at used.
I thought it was like $200-$300 for a set of scales.
No. No.
Oh, that would.
Good scales are more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be concerned about a $300 set
Yeah.
Okay.
unless, it's used somewhere that you trust. I don't know.
I think the quarter midget ones I was looking at were like $1,500.
How long ago was that though?
6 years ago,
Okay.
So they've doubled in price.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I might look at that used if say it was somebody from the motorsport community that was kind of selling off their stuff, like getting out of it to a degree or whatever. I would trust that a little bit more and say, somebody that you knew, you buy them from them.
Yeah.
I would trust that. Or maybe they have a good, maybe you don't know them, but you know of their background in racing or
That's
something.
another thing is when it comes to buying, say, anything used and used tools, when is it worth buying from a friend and not? Because if something does go wrong, is it better to have it someone you really don't know? Or is it better to be like, Jeremy, that tire machine you sold me was fucking shit, dude.
That's a good point.
You
I don't know.
It depends on what kind of asshole you are.
Or what kind of asshole your friend is.
Right.
So does your friend not tell you that and he just sells you a piece of shit?
Right.
Well, even if it breaks and they weren't expecting it,
Well,
I would-
Then you
if
both
I-
have to be a reasonable person.
If
and
I
be
sold something
it
to
was
somebody-
fine when I sold it to you.
Yeah. If I sold something to somebody and it broke a day later, I'd feel like a dick.
Yeah, totally.
I'd probably give the money back.
Yeah.
And take
I'd be like, what do you want to do? Here, I'll help you fix it. I'll take the money that
Right.
you gave it and,
here's the money back.
But
Just give me the
that's
shit.
being a reasonable human being
What if
to
it
your
broke, like,
friends.
6 months later,
Tough shit.
Different
because
story.
you haven't used it yet. Like it's something like you sold
I
them
don't
a
know.
paint gun set and in the middle of winter and they can't use it till
I don't know who you are anymore.
Grant, who? New phone. Who dis? I don't know. Yeah,
The warranty ran out, bro.
it's got a 12-foot warranty.
I feel like for me, I'd rather buy it from someone I don't know personally or that close.
I'd rather you buy it from somebody you don't know either.
I don't know. I buy stuff from friends. I don't hesitate, and I understand too. Like, hey, it worked when I bought it. If it breaks, it's my fault. Or he couldn't see that coming.
Did they prove it to you before you left?
If it was something the person should have known
Yeah.
before, then maybe I'm going to say something, or maybe I'll say something to be like, "Hey, it's my fault, but that damn thing broke,"
Yeah.
So, but that's just me too. I don't really hold those kind of grudges. Some people do. You have to take that into account too. What kind of friend is it? What is their personality? Are they that guy?
Yeah.
It's like loaning a friend money.
Oh, yeah.
If you loan a friend money, never expect that money back.
Jeremy, can I borrow $1?
No.
100%. Don't expect it back. Know who you're giving it to. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if you get it back,
Cool.
be grateful.
Cool. Yep. And I've done that to other people too, like knowing full well. I mean, a good story about the ghost car. I bought that car to give to somebody else. I specifically bought it to give to somebody. And I did that. And it didn't work out, and I ended up with the car back. That's fine. I could see it wasn't going anywhere. That didn't work out. I took the car back. Fine. Now I'm going to give it to you. And something will happen with it.
Yes.
But I did that knowing that I am taking a loss from the moment that I purchased the car.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's what I did it for. So the same with loaning somebody money. If you're going to just treat it like you're giving them that money, just be like, here you go. You need it. I'm helping you out. And they say, I'll pay you back. And it's like, don't worry about it. If you do, cool. I'm not worried about it. That's how you have to go into that
I'll
situation.
pay you back. Yeah, okay.
You need the money for a reason. I don't expect you to pay me back because you got in a hole to begin with. You're not going to pay me back. So don't worry about it. But that's here and there. That's life lessons, I guess.
I've done that with vehicles. I sold a truck to a guy.
Yeah.
We did a payment plan. I ended up with the truck back
Yeah.
like 8 months later.
Yeah.
Sold it to another guy. Didn't want it to, well, I was doing another payment plan with this other guy. Didn't want him to wreck it and have it in my name still.
Yeah.
So I signed it over to him. Quit paying.
Yeah. Of course.
$1,500 lost.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I missed that truck too.
Ah.
It was an 86 Chev pickup. 2-wheel drive.
Just like a standard square body.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Freaking loved that truck. I wish I never would have sold it.
Funny that you say that. The Chevy sparked a bell. I was thinking on my way over, whatever happened to the S10?
S10?
S10.
Do they?
No, they don't
They don't
make
make
it
it anymore?
Uh-uh.
Damn.
They haven't for a
I don't
really,
know.
really long time, to my knowledge.
That was a great old man truck.
It was kind of a, it competed against the Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
What years was that?
Ford Ranger died for a while
mid-80s.
too, though.
The S10?
Yeah.
I thought that was a 90s truck.
They had them in the 90s.
Did they go into the
Yeah, I
90s?
had a buddy
Okay.
that had a 96. His mom bought him brand new.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they went a little later than that even, but I don't know how much later.
I always get confused when we're talking about Chevy trucks on like what, years are them.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little truck, just like the Ranger. It was direct competition to that.
It was supposed to be in the same class as the Dakota.
Sure.
That was, I think
Dakota
more of
was
a
bigger,
full
I think.
size. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just thought of that. I haven't seen an S10 in forever. Like, I don't think they held up. Like, you see old Rangers all the time.
Oh, I saw an old
You seen an S10?
not all that long ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen one in forever. Or maybe they just blend in and I don't
probably.
recognize it.
Yeah, they're kind of incognito, and most of them were black.
Super plain Jane.
Yeah,
Light blue. I remember light
light
blue.
blue, black.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple white ones.
Probably out in the Midwest.
Yeah,
Chad's probably got some.
Chad's probably got one. His parts runner.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't use a C10 for that. Okay. All right. Moving on. I think we're moving on. How many people is too many working on a single project?
Oof.
Oof. Oofta.
Well, are they good at turning a wrench?
Well, that's a valid question. I
Yeah.
guess everybody's got a specific talent. Some people is just standing there bullshitting while other people do the work.
Are we talking over time? We're talking right then they're working on that project.
I don't know. It's not specific. This is one of your questions.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one.
Yeah.
It is a little bit. It's
It's
a
a
little
hard one.
controversial, isn't it?
So let's say we bought a car and we wanted to build a race team.
Yep.
4 or 5 be plenty.
Oh, yes. It would be plenty.
Yeah.
Any more than that, and I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. Do you designate in that situation? We'll take that and run with it. Okay, so you've got you're building a race car for Chump Car or 24-hour lemons, blah blah blah. Do you designate one person the decision maker, or do you have to?
No,
everybody has to agree.
I
on
think
something?
everybody should agree, but maybe we'd have a project manager.
I think it depends on who's got the biggest.
Stake.
Well, not just stake, but also like the biggest vision of the car.
Okay.
If it's you're all had an idea and you're all getting it, then great. I think it's a community effort.
If you have the big vision of the car and I think something's stupid and I'm not going to open my mouth and say something,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Is that how you feel about the Lambo?
What? Wait.
So
Explain that.
if there's 5 of us
Yeah.
working on the car
Okay.
and say Grant has the big vision, here's what we're doing.
Okay.
And I think something that he has decided to do is stupid.
Okay.
I have to open my mouth and say something.
Yeah.
Can he still override me?
Not necessarily. No.
Right.
No.
So,
But if you don't say something, that's on you.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't think one person should have all the say.
Yeah.
If they have all the money into it,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay, it's their car.
Yeah.
You are just there to help.
as help.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Like, what's your stake in the project? Are
Yeah.
you, if you're all in it even,
Yeah, if everybody puts a grand
everybody
in,
gets a vote.
Yep.
Yep,
yeah, let's vote.
yep, for sure.
I feel like also if you're going in a car, everyone's got to put their hands on it. It's
So you've always got that one person that doesn't do as much.
yeah.
I mean, pretty typically that happens,
I
right?
got a story about that.
But maybe you got 4 people in on a car. Everybody's put in. Oh, maybe not. So you got 4 people on a car. One person has put in more than everybody else.
It could be because it stays at their place.
Could be.
You know.
But that one person that put in more than everybody else doesn't do as much work. Does it come out even?
So you mean there's 4 of us working on the car. 4 people put all the effort in, but I throw an extra $1,000 in?
Right. No. 3 people put in all that effort, but the one person that doesn't put in as much effort put in more money. Is it still even?
Kinda.
Like he bought his way through it.
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
I
I feel like kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I think if it's
what amount of money equals amount of work.
Well, no, because if any other one of us, or not one, any one of the other persons could have put that amount of money in, you know, financially, if it's like, say, we all worked on it, but put another $100 into it. Like, well, I got
$100 is nothing.
Well,
but if they put 1,000 in extra,
right?
Or say we've got $5,000 into a car.
Yeah.
You put 1,000 in. Rob puts 1,000 in. I put 3,000 in, but I didn't put shit for work into that car.
There's got to be.
Then Grant and I are like, well, I mean,
Cool. He donated $3,000.
Exactly.
I would say instead of like an actual like a percentage, be like they put
I kind of feel like it does even out. I personally feel like it evens out. Yeah, he put in more money, but he doesn't going to do the work. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we all put in the same amount of money and you don't do any work, then I got a problem with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
When it comes to projects, though, depending on what it's for example, for a race car someone's building,
Yeah.
I am on the impression that I've got to put my hands on everything or see everything that's being worked on because you're putting your life at risk on the racetrack.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not the.
Otherwise,
that's not the question, though.
Okay. What if I suck at turning a wrench? And you guys put all the effort in, but I put the extra $3,000 in. Would you really want me to put fucking wrenches to that car?
Because then we'd have to check over your work.
Right.
Just doing it twice.
And but it also comes down to someone maybe is enthusiastic about doing it, but they're not good at it. But you need it done right.
So then that's a training moment if you have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like everybody's different, so it's hard to pinpoint that, right?
But what if the guy that put the extra $3,000 in is in the shop every minute that you're in there, getting wrenches, picking up, grabbing a beer for you, running out, grabbing parts?
I would have zero problem with that.
What about flip side? They put more money in it, but they're a distraction. They're in the back playing TV. Hey guys, check out this.
Yeah, that might be irritating.
I would make.
But they put more money into it.
No, I understand.
Yeah. When is that breaking point?
Well, you'd have to tell them, listen, dude, either you're
distracting as fuck.
Either you're here to go get parts, and be helpful,
right,
or go home.
Yeah, I appreciate that you put more money into it, and that's cool. And we'll do the work, but you're distracting.
But you need to shut the
yeah. No, I get you. But yeah, to me, it does that equals out.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. Maybe I'm odd here, but I feel like it does.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Let's say it's not a group project. Say it's your own personal car.
Okay.
How many people's too many cooks in the kitchen?
2.
I think more than 2.
I think two people
2 is enough.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is 2 people is enough. Like
2 is a good number.
Sometimes you need that extra hand.
Yeah.
I think personally, I've found ways to do everything I want to do with just one person, but it takes longer.
Yeah.
You got to rig certain ways and do things differently. Whereas if you had 2 people, you can just brute force it.
Yeah.
So I think 2 is good. And typically it's your project. You're the leader of it, right? So I come over to help you with Liger. I'm just like, okay, what are we doing? How do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to jump in and tell you how to do it because it's your project.
Yeah.
But if I did, I came over and said, no, this is the way you need to do this. You need to do it like this. That would not go over well.
Yeah.
And there are people like that want to do that.
Jared brought his car over to Grant's shop.
Recently?
Last.
No, this is last year.
That was last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So he needed to replace the exhaust on it.
Yep.
And every time we got a little further up, something broke.
Oh, I kind of remember this story.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Gilligan's Island.
there was 3 of
Williams
us.
Island.
There was 3 of us
Yeah.
working on this thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that number wasn't awful.
It wasn't bad because it had me and Jared going originally, and then you jumped in, and having a third person was nice because it was a new set of eyes that wasn't started and so zoned in.
Yeah.
So we got to the downpipe, right? The turbo downpipe. We had to pull it out, and where it was at, these guys fiddled with it for
just trying to find the right direction to rotate it or pull
to get it through. Yeah.
They fiddled with it for over an hour, and Grant got frustrated, and Jared was frustrated, and was almost to the point of tears and yelling.
We were 2 days into it, I think, probably at that point.
No. We were on our first day.
No, this wasn't the first day.
No, it was the first day. We were still on the first day. Yeah. You guys were getting frustrated. Jared was getting nervous because he wanted to be home.
Yeah.
And I think you guys ended up wandering down to go to the bathroom. Somebody had to use the
Separately, might I say.
somebody had to use the shitter.
Yeah.
And they walked away, and I'm not kidding you, 30 seconds after they walked away. All I needed them to do was walk away, and I pulled that thing out like it was
Oh, you just
come out.
just had the touch.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it takes. You're just
Well-
like, oh, I can see it.
Mostly I needed Jared to not be
Panic.
there so I could do what I needed to do to get it out.
Yeah.
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 But I've had it where I'm working on a car project or say a friend's car, and they want to make an event. They have like 4 or 5 people. We'll get everyone together. We'll just it'll be fun doing this.
No.
Because it's either one person knows what
Yeah.
they're doing and trying, the other people are just kind of hanging out or whatever.
Yeah. They just wanted a hangout spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
That
fine.
can be distracting. You shouldn't plan on getting anything done on a day
No.
like that.
No, and on those days, like you should plan on it's going to take longer.
Yeah. Agreed.
But if there's 2 dudes that are working on it really hard and everybody else is kind of standing around the fire outside and drinking beer and having a good time,
That's the worst.
that's fine. No, that's great. I am totally into that.
Oh, yeah. Because it's separate.
Yeah,
Separated.
What?
that's right.
Yeah.
No, you and somebody are in the shop working on things.
Yeah.
They're out here out of the way. You get something done. You hit a milestone. Go out and have a beer with them.
Yeah.
Then come back in and fuck with it some more.
Yeah, I get you. That's kind of like the beer and pizza
Yeah.
discussion we had last week.
Yeah.
Where Grant's like, what? Eating at the car? That's ridiculous. What are
Yes.
you doing?
Exactly. I get where you come from. I think yes, but it depends how close it is. If they're literally like you're working on a car and they're like
Yeah.
a car length away from you and doing all that.
Too close. Yeah, too close.
Say you're in your shop
Yeah.
and you got the back bay door open and the big truck's not back there.
Yeah.
And you got a burn barrel out there.
Yeah.
They're just hanging
That's
out.
fine.
Yeah.
That would be totally fine to me.
For me, I think it's if they're within earshot or noticeable because I'm wrenching, I'm trying my hardest to get stuff done, and I'm hearing people having fun and enjoying while I'm going through absolute hell trying to get things.
You're ADHD, though.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I could be laying under that car wrenching on something, giggling and laughing
Yeah.
with the dudes at the fire pit
Me too.
and be
Yeah.
just fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have a different mentality of it.
No
And
bit.
that's fine. You just got to know that.
yes.
If they're giggling and laughing, he wants to be out there giggling. And
Yeah,
laughing.
absolutely he does. Yeah. Yeah. That would be super distracting.
Mm-hmm.
I get you.
Yeah.
All right. How are we doing?
8.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So I'm going to move on to Would You Rather.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
haven't done this in a while.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have a car that can fly or a car that can drive underwater?
Do we need license for either of them?
God
No.
damn it.
Okay.
That's a hard one.
And that is that us building it or already bought and built?
Dude,
And,
it says, would you rather have a car that can fly or the one that can drive underwater? Have.
how far on both ends? How deep can it go and how high can it go?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
How far?
High as you want, deep as you want. It just, Jesus Christ, you're reading too much. What the hell? It's a simple question.
When do
Okay.
I never dive deep?
It
in
is a
this?
simple question.
Okay, I'm going to go with fly.
Cool.
And here's why.
Okay.
Okay.
I just did a bunch of research
Mm-hmm.
on manned drones.
Yep.
And
Becoming more popular.
the theory of them is really interesting to me because they're pretty stable.
Yes. They're gyroscopically stable.
Yep, they're gyroscopically stable. You should be able to fly them in relatively windy weather
Yep.
safely.
Yep.
And the distances that they're getting out of them now is pretty good.
Not too bad.
They're like 150, 200 miles on a battery pack.
Yeah.
battery
The one that I just saw
Like
Like a Tesla
yesterday.
pack?
The one
I
that
don't know for Tesla.
The one I just saw yesterday was 120 miles.
Yeah.
Which I thought, damn, I could use that. I could go to work and back on that.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
sweet.
could do that all week.
Yeah.
No
I
problem.
couldn't do it all week. I'd have to charge once in the week, but I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one that I saw actually had an enclosed cockpit and everything. Like you get in it. It was a 2-seater. You get in it and close the cockpit, so you're out of the weather. Whatever. Zip up, fly, go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and prices they're still really expensive, and there's a lot of experimental models out there.
Like $100,000?
I think
they're
maybe
more
more
than
than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're a couple hundred.
100 grand would probably be worth it. That'd be.
100 grand, I'd
Yeah.
probably do it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather have that than a Cybertruck in the sky.
Yeah.
That thing would fall on you and kill you. Dumpster.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that technology is actually going to happen. They're going to have to regulate it a lot more, though, as they get more available, as people buy them. FAA is not going to be too keen on a lot of people flying around at low levels.
They're starting to do that.
Well, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are starting to do it. I think the EU.
Well, I was talking U.S.
Yeah, EU and the U.S. both are
okay.
are driving
No, I think that's
regulations.
I think that's pretty freaking neat, and I'd like to see it. But
yeah. They're trying to build a taxi service in the Northeast, specifically like the New York area.
that would be interesting.
So they can fly them off of the buildings and get you right to the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I know I like to deep dive a lot, so it only makes sense I would go with the aircraft.
Yeah,
So you can get really high and jump out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've always liked aeroplanes. Aero cars, I should say. I think they're a neat concept. I understand why they never really took off in the way they thought the future was going to be.
Pun intended.
Oh, I didn't think of ha.
Love it.
But I mean, because for those who don't know, like one of the big reasons that how my understanding why the aero car never really took off was because if you have someone who's able to drive and fly, we're already having trouble with drunk drivers. And to fly an airplane requires a lot more training, a lot way more hours.
Yeah.
And there's people who are not going to want to do that.
Well, that could be a valid concern. My thought of why they never took off is because they were never compact enough. And the aero cars, historically,
the wings and
folding all of that up. They're big, they're bulky,
and then there's small cockpits.
Well, where were they
they're
supposed to
small,
land them?
Pretty small car size. Well, yeah, I mean it was an airport kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It was never practical. But now with the vertical takeoff and landing systems,
And
as a drone, it's not a car anymore.
Right.
In that
It's more of a VTOL, right?
yes.
yeah.
But it is a drone, but you can land it in any little parking lot or whatever,
Right.
and take it off from your backyard practically.
Well, how big are they? Because if you can make one the size of a car that fits in a parking spot, that changes the game changer. Especially
That's how they're doing
That's
them.
about
Are they
the
that
size.
size?
Yeah.
And
Maybe a little wider.
the other thing that I think makes it better nowadays, say instead of the 50s and 60s when aero cars were trying to be new,
Right.
is we have a good amount of GPS and autopilot technology
Yes.
where
Absolutely.
they even have, I know there's planes that are like on private jets where it has the rescue buttons. Big button, push it, say a pilot's down, and it will find the nearest thing and try to get itself to land by itself.
Yeah.
You know.
You're right. There's a lot of autopilot technology and GPS and all of that that's really going to help that industry take off, quote unquote. And that's how they're going to keep those drone pilots, from encroaching in airspace they're not supposed to be able to go into. The computers won't let them fly into that space. They won't let them fly over a certain altitude or under a certain altitude, given where they're at.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of restrictions. They're going to have to do it that way because people are just not trained, or you'll have to get a special license. Maybe a combination of all of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's diving really deep into that question. It was more of a fanciful question. Would you rather have a car that can fly or underwater?
And that a third option?
I think both would be really cool.
Both would be cool. The problem I got with the going underwater one is going underwater. What happens if you hit something? There's a lot more because you can't see as much as in the air, and that's
you can't. But you know what I envision is Austin Powers of Spy Shagney when he's driving his Mini Cooper underwater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's a submarine or a Mini Cooper that turns into a submarine.
That's true.
So
It would be kind of cool because you could go, like if you were up in Alaska and doing the Inside Passage, you could dive and like sit there and watch fish and whales.
I mean, it'd be
and all
really
that stuff,
cool if you
right?
could do that. Yeah. But I think I'm into the flying as well. I don't want to be underwater.
I want to throw a third.
Right? No, I don't
me out.
I
either.
want to throw a third one on there. What about amphibious vehicles? Above, below, and now you're on the surface. I think of all those three, I'd rather have an
Above,
amphibious
below,
vehicle.
and what?
You either have above with the aero car, below with a diving submarine car. Why not on the mid-surface have an amphibious vehicle?
So something you could drive on land or in
Water.
water?
Yeah.
So
That I'm surprised.
a car that can drive underwater then?
Well, that's under. I'm talking like on the surface only.
Oh, like a boat.
Yes, it's an amphibious vehicle.
So
Oh, I see what you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
so
yeah.
here was the problem with all of the amphibious vehicles.
Rust.
No.
Okay.
They did not do either very well.
No,
Yeah.
they were pretty bad.
Yeah. But rust would be a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did either really well driving.
Mm-hmm.
No,
No.
they didn't.
No. They drove like boats on. From my knowledge, they drove like boats on land and on
drove like
land or
boats on water.
yeah.
But they were never fast at either one of them or
They're
agile.
such a
or,
novelty
Yeah.
vehicle.
What about with hydro? It's where the vehicle like it's the wings underneath the water and it raises it out.
Hydrofoil?
Yeah. Because like that hasn't been incorporated in many amphibious vehicles, and because when you have that, and you have a good boat.
I don't know how you would do that because the hydrofoil sticks down below the water so far.
Have wings that just fold under.
Okay.
So new hydrofoils now have them where they retract into the boats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd
they,
be cool.
they will actually extend down when they start to move.
Gotcha. Yeah, those things are pretty neat, really.
Yeah, because with all the new technology, it'd be interesting to see where a modern. Because off-roading's been a big thing recently on the automotive world that they're trying to sell. The Bronco, whatever. Look, we can go and mountains adventures. It'd be very interesting to see like a corporation like Ford or Chevy and be like, we got a car that can actually traverse water.
Yeah, there's not enough market. I don't know. It's been tried so many times and interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it.
And it would depend on what you were trying to do with it, right? Because
It's your perfect Alaska vehicle.
right, I couldn't do it though.
What about for?
Because most of those cars, okay, inside passage
Okay.
Yeah.
isn't the roughest water, but like as soon as you get out of the bays and stuff into the inside passage,
Yeah.
some of those waterways are pretty big, and the waves aren't in there, but like it gets choppy because of the
Yeah,
wind.
because of the wind. Yeah.
Now, if you were on the outside of the island
Yeah.
trying to drive a car-sized boat, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. True.
Still, so we come back to not practical.
Yeah.
I got one thing to throw on that really fast. What would be the most money, or you think a acceptable amount of money for each of those categories pay? For a submarine,
Wouldn't buy an amphibious.
well, if it was on the market, what would be acceptable? I think.
Currently,
Yes, currently.
current dollars. Well, I think like for the current crop of flying vehicles, even though they're not really cars,
Yeah.
but we'll use that anyway. So the drones, right? Because that's actually going to happen. Acceptable? Did you say?
Yeah.
Or-
Like, what do you think with like say like a flying vehicle that's a $30 million doesn't make any sense. But in my opinion, something like if it's $250,000, $100,000, that seems reasonable.
So
I think they would sell like mad at $100,000.
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't make a $40,000 one for a single person.
Cost of the technology currently.
Yeah.
I think we'll be lucky to see them in the 100,000 range, but I think you're right at 200 to 250 is probably where they're going to land.
Yeah.
I think that's about where
for
they're
the
at.
flying vehicles.
I
What
think that's
about
about
for
where they're at
amphibious
right now.
vehicles?
As more people or companies develop those, price could come down with
Yeah.
competition, which I think would be cool.
Because, like, if you think about it, the technology started with the small versions.
Absolutely.
And they're just trying to make them bigger at this point. Why would it,
They're doing a good
you know,
job.
the one this big is $1,000.
This big as in what our listeners can't see.
10 by 10.
Oh, sorry. The what is it? DVI makes them. You can get them
DJI.
at Costco.
Okay. DJI.
or
DJI,
whoever else.
DJI, whatever. You can get them at Costco. They're like $900, $1,000.
Yep.
Right. They have a camera on them.
Yeah.
I could see $50,000 for a single person drone.
Yeah.
I could see that.
You know,
I think for like more, if you're like a 2 or 4 person, I think my number is like 250.
I like the two-person one, and to
2-person, and
sell
you
a
could throw a
large-
suitcase in it.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
To sell a large amount of them, they're going to have to be sub 200,000.
What about amphibious
One
vehicles?
150.
Yeah.
Amphibious?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try.
I think a good market would be like 50 to 75,000.
See, and that's
Do you
where I
think they would
the
sell
drone should be.
at that price? Do you think there's?
And I'm talking like an actual vehicle could
understand.
use 4-person, daily commute.
Not underwater or amphibious.
Amphibious, because we'll get to the underwater. We're going through all 3 categories.
Gotcha. No, I don't think you'd sell any at 75,000.
What number do you think it would be where you would actually start selling them at?
30.
40.
You think 40 or 30? And we're talking for like, it's also comparable to a Honda, Corolla or whatever.
Yep.
Driving on it. Okay.
I don't. Well, I mean, if
you're
it's
not going to have a
decent-
Honda.
I'm talking about
what I'm
like
saying.
a decent built product that can do also amphibious. What would be the number for it? For what we're seeing with like Lucid and all these other.
You're not going
companies
to get something that does both well.
Okay.
But I think 40,000.
So
would be about
imagine what he's saying is imagine that you do have something. Say Honda comes out with a car that actually looks good on the road, doesn't look like a boat, looks good on the road, drives well. It's not a sports car, but it drives well, cruises down the road, right? And you can take it to your boat ramp and drive into the water and drive it.
I'm not saying take on the seas.
So
I'm
he's saying something that looks good. What would that cost and would it sell?
yes.
60 grand?
40.
Well,
40, 50.
it's not for us, so it's
Yeah.
hard to
It's
say
hard.
that. But would it sell at $60,000?
Maybe.
The reason I'm thinking like 50 to 75 is because a base level, which is RAV4, is like what 30 grand entering into it, and you just have an extra feature now. That
Right.
feature is going to cost some money.
Right.
That's something, and that's would
Yeah.
be right where they'd probably have.
I mean, if you were, say, somewhere remote, right? Maybe it is in Alaska,
okay,
and you're up there in the summertime, and you got to drive across one of the rivers. You got a 40-mile drive to get to your house, but you got like 800 feet or something that you got to go across the river. Maybe that would be worth it.
like it could be like
I mean, you could drive upriver 80 miles to get to a
Right.
bridge, or you
Or
could
you
go
can cross
across.
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it could be something as like say you have like a van and you push a button and
Pontoons.
come on the side like it inflates and then that as you go. It doesn't need to be like
Fancy.
super fast, 50 miles an hour, maybe 15 or 10 miles an hour on the water, and you're able to traverse it.
Right.
I think it'd be interesting. What about now for underwater submersible?
You know what I think of for the underwater one?
Titan.
That guy that was using his PS2 controller and
Titan.
his thing imploded on him.
Like for me, I think when you're talking, I'm like my first gut's like 300,000, but I think after that whole instant, I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that would cost a little bit more
yeah,
because I think it's going to take more material. It's going to take more design.
There's more danger involved.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Pressures and that
100%.
kind of stuff. But in a fantasy world, all right, say you can drive your Honda CRV underwater. What do you pay for that vehicle?
I think 300,000. I think if you have a reliable vehicle that's built by a company that's reputable and have all the tests, let's just say like this has been out for years and they've been tested and everything's good.
Yeah.
I think about 300,000.
All right.
I'm not saying it's built now, it's new, it's ready to go. I'm saying tried and true
It's going
test
to be
technology.
fucking heavy.
Yeah.
It's
It's going to
a
be
submarine.
fucking heavy. Dude, you know how much that's going to cost to drive
That's hilarious.
on the road?
Yeah, no, right?
It probably would do decent-ish underwater, but once you get it on the road, that
Nearly
thing's gonna be so heavy.
indestructible, though. Go ahead, run into me. Go ahead.
Yeah. You're going to die.
Yeah, you're not gonna like the results.
I don't know if I would go ahead and put it underwater again after somebody ran into me, but
Tell you what, you'd trust a lot more flooded cars after that.
Yeah, there you go.
So what number?
Sure, 300.
I would
don't
go
know.
with 250 to 400 probably.
Yeah?
250, 350, somewhere in there.
You think that's what it would cost to produce?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to get that out of it in order to recoup your production costs.
Yeah.
I think you could probably build one for 150.
And we're saying this is an ideal world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
150 to 200. So 250 to
Yeah,
I think the reason that number's going to be higher is there's going to be less people who are going to be going diving deep.
I agree.
And that's why I think like in a market like that,
think
when
there's
it's
less
possible,
market
you're
for
going to
it.
want to ask for a higher number for that.
I think there's less market for it.
Yeah.
I don't think people would be as interested. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, my small market group, which is the three of us.
Yeah.
What would you use it for, though?
You go underwater, you
That's what
turn
I'm
on the
thinking, like,
you go into the water, you turn on music, and it just is immediately under the sea.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, for
On the
real,
loop.
what would you use it for?
Exploring the bottom of a lake. I don't know. It would be interesting, right?
Yeah.
To be able to see that stuff. But,
Yeah.
but
I
would you use it enough to make it worthwhile?
But
You bring up a point, Jeremy.
not as much as commuting in your drone.
if it was something that could drive on land and underwater, I mean, maybe in Hawaii, taking people into the reefs?
Yeah. Don't know. All right. Well, I think we
a
killed
lot
that.
bigger creatures in the water than up in the sky, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Driving a little Mini Cooper and a giant octopus comes up.
All right.
Kraken.
All right. Well, that one, that took longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So this next one,
Okay.
you can teleport anywhere you want to go at no cost, but you lose a small part of your body every time you do it, and you don't know what part it's going to be.
Oof, my dick's already too small.
Or
Or
you always have to drive to your destination, but you get a free car wash and a free coffee every time you arrive.
I'm there.
can I detach any part first?
What?
My body. Can I detach it?
Do you what?
So if I cut off my arm and
Yeah.
it's away, and then I do that, and then I can just reattach my arm later.
No.
Okay. So
It says you lose a part of your body, but you don't know what part it's going to be.
okay.
So you teleport somewhere, and you're like, I want to go to Hawaii. And you teleport, boom, you're there. But you're missing something, and you never know what part it's going to come up missing.
I would always drive.
I would do the other one. I would do the teleport.
You would?
Yeah. Because if you have the ability instantaneously at the drop of a hat to do that, and you're in an emergency, you're about to wreck your car, I would rather lose something than be in death. Or if you're like on a plane that's falling out of the sky, or
What happens if you teleport and your heart disappears?
Oops.
ooh, yeah, but you're gonna die anyways.
You don't know that.
The other thing is you could also use that for like. Here's the thing: buy a spacesuit. Let's just say Apollo mission, you spend $100,000 on an auction, and you teleport to the moon. Who else is ever going to do that? And you teleport back. You lose something out of it, but you
Yeah.
experience something that no one else ever has.
All of a sudden, you lost a hand and your other arm.
But you've been to the moon. Who else has done that? 18 other people.
You got to teleport back. You're going to lose two pieces.
But you've been to the moon. That'll be one way to beat Elon to Mars. I'll tell
You
you.
lost your
Alright.
lower intestine.
Okay. Did you find the squirrel then?
Had to cut it out. Yeah, I don't think I would. Oof.
I'd take the free
Tel-
car wash.
Teleporting would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, as much as I travel, it would be great to just be like, zoop. But I don't.
That's a heck of a cost.
I don't want. It is a big cost. Yeah.
I feel like it's worth it for if a cost is too high, which is either death or something that you can never experience ever.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, that might be worth it.
My thought was not to get you out of a dire situation, plane crashing or something. You teleport off the plane.
Okay.
My thought was, you're just using it to go long
Travel.
distances.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like cross to another continent or something. I want to take a trip and boom, I'm there.
Another galaxy.
But I lost my middle finger. I can no longer flip anybody off because my middle finger is now gone.
Dude, I use
and then when
that
I come back,
all the time.
I lost my big toe.
Ooh. Do you have the ability to get prosthetics?
Maybe.
So,
But again, what your heart?
Yeah. What?
That's-
Yeah.
that's
It's like
true.
what
The
little
lung.
little piece is gone.
okay.
Oh, that's
A
not
kidney.
Yeah. You don't need that. That's,
Yeah. But
You don't get to choose which one it is.
yeah. So the other option was the car wash and get a coffee every time you're there.
Yeah, I'll take
That's a lot of time every day to stop and wait in line, get a free coffee, and then you have to wait to get the car wash. And if it's hand washed, another hour out of your way, maybe.
But what if you park in your spot? Somebody hands you a coffee as you're walking in.
That's what I'm thinking.
And somebody is there to wash your car.
Yeah. So it's like valet. You don't even have to
Yeah.
worry about it. They just hand you a coffee and say, "We'll take care of your car."
Oh, that's true on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'll take that every time. Yeah.
Okay.
You never know when it's going to come down to that one part that you lose that you're really going to need.
Be like, ah!
Yeah. Dang it. I was hoping to keep that.
Teleportation would be pretty freaking cool, though.
It would be. Yes.
All right, what's the next one?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Project Cars for Sale. We didn't do it last week, and I was kind of bummed.
Yes.
So this will be our final segment of the evening.
I didn't look anything up.
Bullshit. I know you did.
You got your phone?
I did.
I did.
I thought I sent them to you, Rob.
I will tell you. Well,
Woodworking.
don't send them to me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Just look it up. So, damn it, I had mine open, and then there they went. So I found an original H1 Hummer. Let me find my saved items. I was smart. I put it in saved items. And good radio, bro.
You can edit.
We'll start with this one because I can't find the H1. Mazda MX-5 convertible, 2-door, 1997 model. So it's got the pop-up headlights. $2,500. And I know I've brought up Miatas before, but I feel like
$2,500?
I feel like the market has softened a little bit on Miatas because there for a while they were really high.
They were like 10 grand.
Yeah. So this one has 115,000 miles. Soft top, does not have the hard top. It says mostly stock, new soft top, Sparco wheel. It's got coilovers. It's got a little damage on the front driver's fender. And yeah, good to go.
Huh.
It does say will need to be towed, but it does not say why. So that is maybe a drawback.
Well,
it's available in Kennewick, Washington
if it
for
needs to be-
$2,500.
If it needs to be towed and it's a Miata and it's not, and it's at that condition, something's got to be definitely wrong. It doesn't take a lot to get those cars running.
No, it doesn't take much.
So that's got to be
Could
something.
be, and it doesn't say what it is that's wrong with it. Could be a clutch or something like that.
Okay.
But pretty decently straight car for like a little project autocross car. And it would be great. And it does show it like in road situations. So I don't think could be a whole ton wrong with it. Anyway,
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good. That's on Marketplace, available in, it says Kenmore, Washington. Sorry.
Oh,
So
that's a whole different location.
well, yeah, it is. That's up in the Seattle area.
Closer.
Okay, you go ahead.
I got one.
Okay.
1993 Chevy Peterbilt 372.
Ooh.
It's a flat nose. Check this thing out.
Oh yeah,
It has, what did it say? A 28-foot box, 108 inches wide on the back. Detroit diesel.
28-foot box, so it's a box truck.
It's a box truck. It looked like it had a really nice ladder on the back, and it actually has one of the ramps that moves up and down. I think big enough to put a car on it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Would be a pretty neat little project for somebody that wanted to go racing that had a trailer.
Oh, like a stacker.
Yeah. Not a stacker. You could put the car in this and haul a camp trailer behind you.
Okay.
I was thinking, actually, if you towed a stacker, because it's a big enough truck to tow a stacker real easy.
For sure.
And then you could just build out the back of the
You could
box
do that
truck
also.
as your
But
camper.
I think I would turn the box in this into
Your race.
the race.
Yeah, if the lift's big enough to pick a car up,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty sweet.
It's cool. It is a little bit more than I would like to spend, but I think 20 grand for something that runs
Yeah,
is a pretty decent deal.
pretty decent for a big truck.
Yeah.
All right. What you got, Grant?
I'm
Oh, wait. Where's that at?
saying it.
Oh, shit. Where is that? Actually, it's right here in Portland.
Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at vehicle. Ooh, that's really cool.
All right. Well, then you're not ready. Are you
Yeah,
ready?
no. I mean, like I found one thing that I thought was pretty cool. But it's not really a project car, but kind of a project car. 1970 Lotus Formula car.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on our group chat right now. It's a B17 Formula B Lotus twin cam. Looks just like a car from back then without the wings. You know?
Oh, I did see that one, actually. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It only has 80 horses, which isn't a lot, but you're talking
Well,
about
for
a
one
car
of
that
those,
weighs
yeah.
nothing, maybe
1,200 pounds.
if that,
1,500.
you know. And it's just, I mean, it's 70 grand, but granted, you're buying
Yeah.
literally a race car from the 70s.
And that one had already been gone through, I think the post said. Yeah, it's like it's track ready right now.
Yep.
I thought 70 was a little high, honestly.
Yeah,
For that, because I've seen similar cars for 10 grand.
I think it's because it has Lotus on the name.
Could be.
I feel like a car like this, if it didn't have Lotus and everything's been done 35.
Like a Formula Continental car, something like that.
Yeah.
You're sub 30.
But you're buying but the other thing is because it's Lotus, especially during the 70s when they were really good,
Oh, that's valid.
you know?
Yeah.
You're buying a hell race car that
Yeah,
you know is
you're
gonna
kind of buying a piece of vintage, the vintage art almost, raceable art.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's pretty cool. Yeah, 70 is pretty high, but you could be right.
Yeah.
To the right person that knows their stuff, that's probably pretty sweet. Where's that at?
That one is in, and I just closed it real fast. That one is in Buckley, Washington.
Oh, Buckley.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, posted
by-
a day ago.
South of Seattle, outside of Puyallup.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't 70. They're asking 75,000 for it.
Really? I thought it
Yeah.
was
I thought it was 70, unless they just changed it right now.
Yeah.
Because I just refreshed the page.
Okay. Yeah, that's on Marketplace as well, just outside of Seattle with that one. I found an H1 Hummer, 2004.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is the truck version.
Okay.
It is listed in Oregon City for $59.99. It is one of the military grade ones. So
wow.
there were a handful. I want to say like less than 1,000 that got released from the military. It was like a loophole that somebody found like 10 years ago. What?
Not necessarily. Well, you're talking about the military?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
because
I'll get on the story after that, after you're done talking about that.
so to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of them got released. They weren't supposed to due to the military contract and Hummer's civilian sales. They didn't want to dilute the sales, so they weren't allowed to release the military ones to public sale. Well, somebody got a loophole in the contract. They got a few out before closing that loophole. Anyway, I think this is one of those.
Is that this one?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
H1 Hummer 2004, $59.90, available in Oregon City, Oregon, and I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty-
5,900.
$5,900.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
There's
That's not bad.
There's another one that's for 5,900 in Bend, and it has a LT1 motor drivetrain in it and stuff.
Yeah, this one's original.
Yeah,
This one's got the original diesel,
that's nice.
all of the air on the run tires, all that stuff. But it is military grade. It is not plush.
Yeah.
It's not like the civilian models
It's
where it
hard
was
and
all.
slow.
That's
yeah.
what I was going to bring up with civilian model.
But if you want an off-road vehicle, this fucking thing will go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring was the original H1, a civilian model. That was intended only for a military vehicle, as you said. One of the reasons it was brought up to be a commercial vehicle was a big advocate was from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And, he convinced GM and they brought public, to be like, we want this. And that's how it got to the general public. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. That's all I got on that one.
Okay, Jeremy?
So, I found a 1960 Jeep FC 170. It's a flatbed. Check this thing out.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a flatbed.
Oh, wow.
They want
Flat nose.
flat nose, flatbed. They want $4,000 for it. Says it. Dude's had it for 6 years. Never had it running. Bought it as a project. Never started the project. Has a 10-foot flatbed that could be converted to a dump bed. Also has a center PTO winch. I think that's right in the middle of the bed. Floor's rusting. Can send more pictures, but this thing is freaking cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it might have been an old military rig at some point.
Pretty cool little utility truck.
Yeah.
Well, not little necessarily. But yeah, No, that's a nice utility truck.
Looked
That
like
would
you
be-
could put a couple of sides on the bed and on the front and load it up with some heavy ass firewood. And
You could really use it as a utility. You could also put a camper on the back of that thing and be kind of cool.
yeah.
That would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Did you have another one, Grant?
I've got a few, and I'm blowing up our group chat right now, and I don't know which one to go. Like, this one actually seems really interesting, and I think more of a project than compare the other two. This one is a 19. Oh, by the way, Jeremy, what was the one you found?
Where was it?
Yeah, before I move on to mine, so people know.
Is it Marketplace in what city?
Turner, Oregon.
Okay, so this one that I found is a 1985 Dodge Shelby Charger. So from 80s kind of boxy looking. This is in Lapine, Oregon. They want $3,400 for it. It's red with white stripe hood, all the louvers. These were the turbo cars back in the day, right? I believe. Has a 5-speed manual. The interior actually looks in decent shape. The seats aren't ripped up with it. It's got a sunroof. Definitely a little bit paint faded, but like as something, if you want to make a tuner fun car that's different, something that is just of like the 80s era, but like also starting to hit the JDM kind of era. This is a car I think that would like really match that kind of niche, fill. If you don't want to be like the same everyone, like the Honda with a bigger turbo.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, do you have thoughts on it?
Not really.
No? Okay. It does say it does run though. Oil pump needs to be replaced. Fuel injector rings and needs new battery and tires. So that mine too. Again, Lapine, Oregon, they're asking for $3,400 or best offer
On Marketplace.
on Marketplace.
Okay. Last one I have.
Okay.
Went on the higher end, higher end of dollars for this one, but for what it is, pretty low dollars. 94 Dodge Viper RT10 Roadster.
Ooh.
95? Okay.
94.
94?
Yep. So it's first gen Viper. Needs a little bit of work. It's got some paint defects and this and that. AC coolant leaks a little bit, but does work when you recharge it. It's got, what is it? 24,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
40 grand. So,
Wow.
Ian was saying he wanted a Dodge Viper. Here it is. Gen 1.
That's tough.
That's the one he wants, too.
I know. Well, it's Gen 1s are always the toughest ones to figure out because you can't find them for 25 grand anymore. I actually found one, but they're really, really rough.
Well, it is 40 grand.
That's 40. But I want to say, like, they're right now between 40 and 60.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still find some decent examples on the lower end, like 45.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a Project 140, is not bad.
It's only project in that it's got some paint flaws. Like
Okay.
it's been scratched and scraped a little bit.
Does it say where the head gasket's redone? I know that was one of the problems on those cars. If it is, that's a steal then.
I don't. It doesn't say.
Okay.
No, doesn't say. I mean, the car honestly, it looks pretty good. It's available in Lebanon, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Marketplace. It's been on there for 3 months, so apparently it's not quite the steal. Because I would think for 40 grand somebody would have bought that already.
Okay.
Interior looks good to me. It's got 36,000 miles on it. My bad, I said 24, I think.
Okay.
36,000. Oh, he bought it for 24, but it's currently at 36.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good looking car. If you're into the Vipers and you want to jump into it, like Ian has talked about, I think that's a good buy.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and that's an analog car all the way. It's got no nannies. It's got no anti-lock brakes.
That is a car I want to have on my bucket list to have. A Gen 1 or Gen 2, but early RT1 with the same body style of a Gen 1.
Yeah.
One of those Vipers.
Well, here you go. Buy this one. It's only 40.
Yeah. I don't know. I want a Gen 2 with 1996 or 1997. That's an RT10.
Mm-hmm.
The same body I think I'd rather have because that's when they got all the geometry right. When there was less problems, you didn't have to worry about the head gaskets,
Not
more
using
horsepower.
the truck brakes.
Not using truck brakes,
Did they fix that on Gen 2?
Huh?
I think Gen 2 had ABS, but was it on the early ones? Because I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, that's one that I think that's personally what I would go with.
That would be a crazy car though, because it doesn't have any of the nannies.
But the other thing specifically, I had to go with the 96, I think, or 97 YNRT10. It's the only year that they had it where it was the body style of the first gen while having the second underneath. And I feel like that's going to be one when people realize what it is going to take off in value. So they have the best of both worlds.
All right. Well, there you go.
What you got, Jeremy?
I have two, but I'm going to go back to the other one that I really liked. So I went big this time. Like, really big.
Okay.
1990 Mack truck. It might be a little smaller than my first one that I mentioned, but it was a concrete pumper truck. They removed the concrete pumper from it. It's an inline 6 diesel 5-speed stick. Runs good. $2,800.
Oh.
There's no. It's
why
just chassis on the back.
So it's just chassis. Why? So they didn't replace the pumper portion with anything. They just took it off.
That's right.
So it's just the truck.
It is literally just the truck.
So you've got an open bed to build a camper on.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
But it's a flat nose again.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm really digging these right now.
Yeah.
And what I'm envisioning is, you know what an exoskeleton is?
Yes.
I would build an exoskeleton around this thing.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I'd paint it probably like a matte black or a flat black, you know?
Yep.
Put some sort of, what do we want to call it? Like a box on the back. Very similar to
Like
the Dakar Rally.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
That got to be cool.
that would be, that's what I would do with this thing.
Almost, it would look very Unimog.
It's got, yes, exactly.
Yep.
And it's got the freaking air horn on the top already.
That's
It's
requirement.
got a big chrome air horn and big chrome mirrors. And it's just freaking cool looking.
Right on.
I like that it runs and drives well. Said it purrs like a kitten.
$2,800 located.
This one is located in the Dalles.
Not far away. I need to change my location so that I can get some stuff in
Other places.
Midwest and out east. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense on that one.
Hold on. No, wait a minute. This is not Dalles.
Grant, did you have
Dallas, Oregon?
Oh, Dallas. Yeah,
Dallas?
it's down by Salem.
Yeah.
I was searching for something else real quick, see if I found. I have one that I put on my list that I'm just putting this one out here because this is actually pretty interesting to me. Can I have two then? One fast and then I'll do one short.
Hurry up.
Okay, so I found in Auburn, Washington, and this we're going in the extreme expense sizes. I've been this way tonight.
Yep.
$64,900, 2000 Ferrari 360 Modena.
Oh,
I honestly cannot believe they have got that far down in price. I remember when they were still at 80,000, 90,000.
64 grand.
64 grand for a Ferrari that's already had the new clutch 30K serviced on it with receipts.
See, this just backs up I keep saying the market is going soft a little bit. That just backs it up.
Ferraris go down and then they bounce back up.
I understand, but the 360, it should have been bottomed out already.
I don't think so because the
Really?
355 started to and then it started to come up. And then now the next one would be the 360. And then we're going to see that with the 430s.
I still think it should have, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's also not a manual, it's a F1 style, not the manual one. If it was manual, that'd be way more expensive.
certainly.
But that's a really, if you want to get into Ferrari and something that's already been done with the service, which is a lot of the cost already done.
Absolutely.
Big boom right there. Round body, red, and it's got 400 horsepower with an engine that tops off at 8,500 RPM.
Yeah.
That again, Auburn, Washington, and Facebook Marketplace. Last one I wanted to push on just real quick. I thought this is the most interesting one. If you guys could go to our group chat, it's the third one up called the 1994 Subaru Sambar Volkswagen Kit. I have not seen this before, and I think it's very interesting. It's located in Portland, Oregon. $17,000. It looks like a kit car. It doesn't have very much information on it, but essentially it's, imagine a Mini Cooper, combined with a 60s Volkswagen bus. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, I'm getting to it right now.
Yeah. It says runs and drives, and yeah, I don't have much information. I just think it's cool looking and wanted to share that. And if anyone's interested in a bus of that generation that is small,
This content not available.
yeah, really? Here, I'll just pass you my phone.
Yeah.
Here,
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it looks like a minibus.
Jeremy, do you see that?
No.
Huh.
I'm on the wrong phone.
Look,
Oh, that thing's cool.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It looks like they took a minivan. It's even smaller than a minivan.
Yeah, it's like the size
Like
of
a
a mini.
micro bus.
Yeah, but
That's kind of cool.
yeah, and that's what I got.
Right on. Okay, I think that is it for this evening. Thanks everybody for listening to the first show of 2025.
Woo!
Thanks for hanging in there. Thank you all for listening and sharing the podcast with your friends, hitting follow. Thanks for being followers. Reach out to us, untitledcarproject@gmail.com, or any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Untitled Car Project.
Yeah,
Yes, and our Discord.
whatever. Nobody uses it.
Oh,
I,
I'm asking a favor, listener.
True.
If you're on any of those sites, hit the like button, hit the star, give us a review.
Yes,
Comment.
actually, I did see a couple of reviews on. I was on Apple Podcast stuff the other day, just looking at analytics. Got some nice reviews on there, so thanks everybody for that. And
nice.
if you are so inclined, either on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen, give us a 5-star and post some nice comments on there, or even not nice comments. I'm fine with that. Any engagement is engagement.
They messed up on the Aero car.
Yeah, whatever. Call us out. I don't care.
call us out. We'll call you.
Yeah, leave your phone number. We'll talk. I'm fine with being corrected. It's all
The
good.
start of 2025. If you guys have any suggestions on topics we should talk about this year, guests you would like to see on our show,
Yeah,
please let us know.
yeah, I'd totally be down to hear that. That'd be great. So, again, thanks everybody for listening. Talk to you later.
Happy New Year.
Bye.